This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
You leave the week behind. Now it's Friday, it's the weekend time. I'll tell you, you'll be fooling around. You can cut loose from the daily grind. Fridays are grooving. Time to get moving. The weekends, we can all go wild. It's time for fun to start. The weekend, you will all be finding pleasure with your time off.
Happy Friday, everybody.
Happy Friday.
Buzz is back.
About time.
Only on KLAQ.
Right. Thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you and welcome everybody to the show. It is Friday morning. Did you hear that, Joanna? It's Friday already.
It's Friday.
Good morning and welcome to the show, everybody. We got a lot coming up on the show today, including Linkin Park made an announcement yesterday and introduced their new lead singer
Oh, yeah.
and their first single. And we'll get into that a little further later in the show. But I interviewed her when she was at a band based in San Antonio called Dead Sarah.
Oh,
Hey, remember
cool.
Dead Sarah? They
Yeah.
had a song that we played, The Weatherman.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's been over a decade ago. Well, the lead singer from Dead Sarah is now the lead singer replacing Chester Bennington for Linkin Park. I guess I kind of let the cat out of the bag, but you would have seen it online anyway,
Right,
probably.
for sure.
As we get into the weekend, let's turn our attention to the weather. It has been exceedingly nice with highs in the mid-80s, this week. That looks like it's going to continue. Our high temperatures are going to be south of 90 all weekend long. And not much rain in the forecast, but really just a microscopic blip on the screen Friday night. Probably not going to be much there. But there will be some cloud cover. Going to keep it cool at 88 for the high temperature today.
Oh, nice.
Right around there, 87 on Saturday and 89 on Sunday. It's not going to be too windy. Here you go. A 3-day grade of A+, Joanna.
Oh, nice.
You don't hear many of those.
No.
Any day this weekend that you choose to go out, the weather is probably going to be cooperating. This is the Golfers Forecast brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. You can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com. Or call the Pro Shop. They're happy to set it up for you at 915-821-2122 for Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course. In about an hour, Joanna is going to have the Hollywood Cheesemate coming up for us. Joanna, what do you have in your sights today?
Well, Beetlejuice is officially out in theaters today.
Right.
But the other day we were talking about the cartoon.
Yeah.
And I've got great news. If you want to rewatch that cartoon classic, I'll
Is
let
it
you know
streaming somewhere?
where it's
Oh.
streaming for free.
Okay. We'll have that coming up, a true crime report on the way later today. It's 10 minutes after the show was supposed to start, so Nico ought to be showing up in the next 10 minutes, I guess. I talked to some people who went out and went to the auditions for the Haunted Houses of Terror that were last night. The KLAQ Haunted Houses of Terror, plural, because there's going to be more than one house. El Paso's longest-running haunted house is going to open September 27th. They moved it back a week from what I was originally told. Right, so September 27th is the opening date, and there are going to be two locations, both of them on the east side at 13900 Montana, and the second haunted house of terror at 2155 Joe Battle. Double the terror, double the screams, but for the same price. Twice the terror, twice the thrills. That means we need double the cast. We did not fill out our cast and our, it's a seasonal job. You do it for a couple months here.
Yeah.
You got a little extra Christmas money, And it's fun. You get to dress up as monsters and scare the crap out of people. So we're going to have another casting call. And, this is all about actors inside the haunted house. But I know that they also need people to take tickets and do the makeup and everything. So there are a lot of different things
There's a lot of different roles you can play in this.
To make a successful haunted house. The next one is going to be next Thursday, September the 12th. And it is going to be at Desert Warriors Paintball, 13900 Montana. If you want more information, I have a number to call. The work is at night. So if you've got a day job, you want to pick up a side gig, and you love scaring people, this is perfect for you.
That's a good side hustle.
So this is Thursday, September 12th at Desert Warriors Paintball, 13900 Montana. Here's the number to call to get more information about the Haunted Houses of Terror and working at the Haunted Houses of Terror. Called 915-502-3968. That's 915-502-3968. If you need more information or the casting call, they don't put a time here. Do you see a time anywhere? It says it's Thursday. 6 p.m. Got it. It just got lost in the text there somewhere. So 6 o'clock next Thursday.
Got it.
KLAQ Haunted Houses of Terror brought to you by Western Tech, Burnout Bullies, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, and War Eagles. Proudly produced and managed by Desert Warriors Paintball. All right. Excited, Joanna?
Yes.
We're officially talking about Halloween stuff already.
We're inching closer to it.
We probably got to start our costume search. You're handling yours, right?
Yes. I need a budget.
Right. I need to know what our budget is. We do get one.
Sweet.
It's meager. But sometimes we make the most out of it. Last year's 50th anniversary of The Exorcist parade float, excellent.
Comfiest costume I've ever had.
And the guys from Desert Warrior Paintball do the float for us.
Oh,
yeah, they're great.
Do such a great job.
Appreciate you guys. All right, going to have a true crime report coming up later on the show as well. The NFL season kicked off in spectacular fashion, Joanna.
Did it?
Yes, it was an exciting game right down to the end. The final play of the game was a controversy.
Taylor Swift looked amazing.
Taylor Swift looked on point at Arrowhead Stadium. So, underway. Chiefs win, but what a fantastically exciting finish here for the first game of the 2024 NFL season. We're going to have Today in Sound Clips coming up in just a few minutes, and we'll get that started. Look at all the day's news with sound bites and actualities coming up in just a moment.
The Daily Calendar.
Hey guys, it's September 6th. So much today. It's Egg Toss Day.
Ow.
Coffee Ice Cream Day.
Ooh, brain freeze.
Read a Book Day.
What's a book?
Lazy Mom's Day. Chianti Day. And if you want to review the 401k, because it's 401k Day.
I'm ready.
It's Food Bank Day.
I think I can make a withdrawal.
And it's Fight Procrastination Day.
I'm going to fight you later.
No, as in fight against procrastinator.
Tomorrow.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
Chuck here, and I am ready to throw the horns up on Loudwire Nights tonight.
Lock device and new line of service. Bonus active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Oh, we're back.
Buzz is back.
Hey, right on, Buzz.
Buzz in the morning show. 95.5 The Q.
All right, we are underway. Nico's here, so the party can start.
Oh, you know the party is all about you, man.
He's been in the studio long enough. He hasn't even got his microphone over to him yet.
Is my mic not on?
No, what? You were off. You were just off mic.
The party is all about you. Joanna, I was like, how's your butt? And you know what, though? They actually found something wrong with his back.
Remember, I've been complaining how stiff my back is, and I have to lay down like after sitting up like this for a few hours.
Yeah.
It's got like a massive muscle spasm. The doctor said she could see it just by looking at my back, that my back was.
Oh my God.
So they gave me a shot. Probably had some juice in it.
some juice.
I don't know what's in it, but yesterday was not my colonoscopy. I know everybody's making jokes that I was about to have a colonoscopy done. It wasn't yesterday.
Well, we weren't making jokes out of the blue. On Tuesday, you kind of said, I'm having a colonoscopy Thursday.
No, I never said that. I said I'm going in to have a few tests run.
Maybe everybody
just filled in the blanks themselves.
Filled in your blank.
So stupid. Are you going to have your open mic comedy show tonight?
I'm having open mic, but I'm actually having a normal show. So it's not like the open mic is just the thing at the end. It's not even the main event anymore.
So from now on at Scenics on Friday, there's going to be a regular comedy show.
Yeah.
With professionals.
Right. And tonight
there's a cover, right?
Yep, not for everything. So you're just gonna have to check.
If you show up after the professional comedians are done,
right?
You need to have an answer to this. What's the cover charge?
Tonight it's $15. I'm having several professional stand-ups from Austin coming in tonight.
Okay.
All right, Celia Contreras from Kill Tony, who is Roseanne Barr's opener and is really blown up.
There's a lot of MAGA rallies, I imagine.
No.
Okay.
Anyways, so she'll be here tonight, and she's bringing 4 of her friends from Austin. I'm not even on the show, so that's going to be $15 in advance, or 2 for $20.
And what time does that start?
That starts at 9:30.
All right, 2 for $20, 9:30. After the professional show, it's going to be open mic, and once the show's over, no cover, right?
Right, no cover.
All right, just wanted to make sure.
Yes.
Whew. We're going to have did I mention we're going to have a true crime report? We're going to have that on the way.
You did.
We're going to hear the new lead singer for Linkin Park.
Ooh.
Turns out to be somebody I've interviewed before.
And now, today in sound clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actuality. So, a busy day in Georgia. And that high school that's still reeling from the mass shooting, they've arrested the father of the 14-year-old who carried out the shooting, killing 2 teachers and 2 students.
For providing him with the weapon?
Okay, so let me get a clip in here, and then I'll tell you how I understand it. Yesterday, Georgia Bureau of Investigation Director Chris Hosey announced that 54-year-old Colin Ray, the father of the suspect in Wednesday's school shooting, was arrested on a list of charges.
He is charged with the following: 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
All right. Hosey said the charges stem from the father knowingly allowing his son to possess a weapon. All right, so I'll chirp in here. They were reporting that the police had gone out to visit this kid and his father because of disturbing. He was a part of a school shooting group on Discord, which is a thing. They were worried enough that the police actually went out to visit, but they didn't have probable cause to do anything about it.
Yeah, I brought this up in news yesterday. I guess the Georgia Bureau of Investigation and the FBI had a case open, or a case file open, for the shooter since May of 2023. Now, some provocative posts from the shooter's aunt were being posted online to Facebook in the past 2 days.
His aunt
from Florida was posting things like, "I will always defend my nephew. You don't know what he's had to live like. I've been trying to get him mental health for the past several years." That he has had. Well, I think this might relate to the father. Actually, now that I'm seeing the news about the father getting arrested, now I'm putting things together.
After the police came out to visit about your son and basically say, we're concerned that he might do a school shooting, the father bought for Christmas his 14-year-old an AR-15. Yeah. That was his Christmas gift. After the police had already been out there and said, we're worried that your son is a threat.
I guess he was abusive.
The father?
Yes, that's what I'm putting together about this.
Yeah, but you don't know that.
I'm just telling you the thing I'm just putting together after that aunt was saying all those things online. And what did the the charge? What was the charge?
Here we go.
These charges stem from Mr. Gray knowingly allowing his son, Colt, to possess a weapon.
And Jose confirmed that the 14-year-old Colt Gray is facing multiple murder charges and will be tried as an adult.
Colt Gray, that was arrested yesterday for this incident, has now been charged with 4 counts of felony murder. And again, we will continue to work tirelessly to complete this investigation as we move forward.
It's such a tragedy.
I guess it's kind of rare that the shooter in one of these survived. Not unheard of, like the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooter turned himself in alive. But don't you think they really ought to get like the mind hunter guys to get inside this dude's head and just figure out what makes somebody go and shoot up a bunch of their classmates?
Of trauma, abuse, I think, yeah. This isn't people who are, on the normal mental health spectrum of things. These are people who...
Right. There had to be something. Or we don't know much about it. I don't.
We can speculate at this point.
Here is the Barrow County, Georgia Sheriff Judd Smith says the community is facing a lot of heartbreak.
What we're facing? Heartbreak. We're heartbroken. A young person brought a gun into a school, committed an evil act, and he took lives, and he injured many other people, not only physically but mentally.
The FBI raided the homes of 2 top deputies for New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
Yeah, this is a crazy story.
Agents raided the homes of at least 4 top officials in the Eric Adams mayoral administration in New York, including the home of police commissioner, the first deputy mayor, and another deputy mayor. No details about why the raids happened. They haven't laid out what the details are, but didn't they raid at... maybe they didn't raid his home, but they subpoenaed a lot of his records?
Eric Adams, you mean?
Mayor. I said Mayor Adams.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
The FBI has been conducting an investigation into the Adams administration for the last year on suspicion that the campaign... Oh, here we go. Conspired with the Turkish government to get illegal campaign contributions through straw donors. Here is Eric Adams, mayor of New York, talking to CBS News, said that he was not aware of any misdoings by the aides whose homes were searched.
I'm not aware of any misdoings, and I'm going to, again, follow the rules, and I will continue to tell the team to do that. And that's what they have been doing, of my knowledge.
Adams vows that he's going to be completely transparent and share everything that he knows with law enforcement.
I know what I'm going to do, and that is information that's needed to show that I have always followed the law. We're going to give that information.
That's crazy weird because the police commissioner was raided. That's not like a political position. That's not like something that would have had contact with, the Turkish government or aides from Turkey.
The police commissioner's home was raided. And, well, a couple deputies.
Yeah,
So
that makes more sense of might be closer to the politics of it. But the police commissioner, that's very strange.
A bear cub survived a 10-hour drive in the back of a van while being fed Taco Bell.
Yes, of course.
It was a bear.
Was it a Mexican bear?
No, well, it was a Canadian bear. It was from Canada.
They didn't have poutine?
No. He survived a 10-hour drive in the back of a van. He was also fed Taco Bell by the people who got him. Here is the executive director of wildlife rescue there talking about getting the bear to safety and what it ate.
The bear was quite lethargic. I should mention he was fed Taco Bell, so I'm sure his innards weren't feeling so great neither. And he was just really stressed.
What's that? What did she say?
He was really stressed.
No, I heard that part. Couple more things here. Linkin Park made an announcement. They introduced their new lead singer, Emily Armstrong, who's in a band called Dead Sarah. 1 year at South by Southwest, Dead Sarah came out to where we were doing our broadcast, and both of them, I think they're from San Antonio, if I recall.
They're from L.A.
Thank you, John.
Well, they might. Dead Sarah had that song, The Weatherman. Their new album, From Zero, comes out November 15th, still a couple months away. For the next couple of weeks, they're going to be playing major venues in L.A. and New York City for the first time since before Chester died in 2017, the year before Chester Bennington died. But here's a new single. It's called The Emptiness Machine. And take a listen to Linkin Park's new lead singer, Emily Armstrong.
Let you cut me open just to watch me burn. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm open for what I've overstayed. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
Yeah, I think she's gonna fit in well.
Sounds good.
So Linkin Park going back out on tour, album coming out in a couple of months.
Okay, so we're going to talk about this more later, right?
What?
The Linkin Park story? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, because Kevin just sent an email. I guess he introduced them at a balloon fest.
Yeah, they came to our balloon fest one year.
But it's interesting. In the email that Kevin sent us, he says that the other members of Linkin Park quietly began meeting up in recent years again. And rather than trying to restart the band, their instinct was simply to spend more time together and reconnect with the creativity.
All right.
That's
They
nice.
said, they looked around and said, guys, none of us sing that good.
Well, I guess
You gotta get a singer.
I guess during this time, them just trying to get together and start, instead of being the band, they had friends come over and cohorts join them in the studio. And one of the guests was Armstrong and Britton, and they just had a really good relationship.
Oh, great. Well, the new season is only one game old, but what an exciting game it was.
And it was Sunday night football?
It's Thursday night, but it's Sunday night football.
Sunday night football on Thursday.
Yeah, except for sometimes they have it on Saturday. The new NFL season began with a bang as the Baltimore Ravens appeared to have scored a touchdown with 0 left on the clock. That would have left them a point behind KC, so they were already lining up to go for a 2-point conversion. Have I lost you guys?
No.
Instead of a field goal, you get 1 point. They didn't go for the tie. They went for the win. But as they were lining up, the last play came back to haunt them. Let's listen in to this. I am telling you, this at the end of the season, this is going to be one of the great game endings of the entire season, the very first game.
Down to one play, 5 seconds to go. Lamar trying to make magic happen, throw it end zone. Likely 2 feet down. Yes, touchdown! What a play!
All right, so the Ravens receiver catches it. The announcer says he got both feet down, and you can hear they're obviously playing in Kansas City because you can hear the KC fans booing.
Going for 2 and the win are the Ravens on opening night.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over. Kansas City has won.
27-20. The Chiefs win on opening night by a toe.
Wow.
They took the touchdown away. There were 0 seconds on the clock. So they didn't get the touchdown, but what an exciting ending for a game.
But they're pissed.
And the Hallmark Channel posted an ad for their upcoming movie called Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. It doesn't star Taylor and Travis.
Is it about their romance?
I don't know. It says it does feature Travis's mom, Donna, is going to be in the movie.
Anything about a breakup contract?
Had you heard about that?
Of course.
Is it a hoax? Joanna, have you heard about this?
About what?
Somebody said they found a contract that specifies when Travis and Taylor Swift are going to break up, and they've it includes drafts of both of their statements that are going to be released on this certain date.
Oh, my God.
And I think it's this month.
It was a picture found on Reddit. I'm sure
It was
fake,
doctored or something. Right.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
people have been talking about it, though. Here's the trailer for Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story.
Saturday, November 30th. Now, for the first time ever, Hallmark and the Kansas City Chiefs, lead it. All on the field.
How about those?
Holiday Touchdown, a Chiefs love story. All new Saturday, November 30th. Part of Countdown to Christmas. Only on Hallmark Channel.
Jesus, Elvis. This is a war on Christmas.
Good morning, Chuck Armstrong here, and I will be along tonight at 7 to get your weekend off to a rockin' start with Loudwire Nights. Then tomorrow at 5, it's 2 hours of ultimate Metallica.
By Sarah Farms Milk. Sarah Farms, where their milk is legendary.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
All right, Joanna is going to have the Hollywood cheese made. I think I might do the true crime report early instead of later. Like, I might do it in the 7 o'clock hour, too. Yeah, nobody cares.
Okay.
I'll just do it when I do it.
What?
Yeah,
Wait,
you
do
let
what?
us know, buddy.
What are you going to do?
The true
We got a true crime report.
Oh,
coming
yeah,
up
do
the
it
next
whenever you
hour.
want.
Coming up later today, join Glenn Garza at Tap House. Tap House is at 2910 Tularosa. And it might be your first introduction to Troy Aikman's new beer, 8 Elite Light Lager. Glenn is going to be at the Tap House this afternoon from 5 to 7. 8 Elite Light Lager made with 100% organic grains, no cheap fillers, and only 90 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs. I swear to God, whoever named this did it intentionally. They put a tongue twister as a sponsorship.
8 Elite Light Lager.
8 Elite Light Lager.
8 Elite Lager.
8 Elite Lager.
8 Elite Lager.
8 Elite is truly light beer made right. And he's going to have some great giveaways. We've got $50 NFL gift cards, your opportunity to sign up, win a Troy Aikman autographed football, and an 8 Elite Texas flag. Drop by and see Glenn Garza. He's going to be at the Tap House, 2910 Tularosa this afternoon from 5 to 7. We got calls confirming that last night's first game of the NFL season was a doozy. What an exciting game.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Last night's game, that was an awesome game. Only by a toe.
A toe, yeah.
But, of course, NBC showing Taylor Swift just about the same as the game itself, which, for me, I don't care. It's, they got to do what they got to do. But, a lot of people get their, feathers ruffled over, showing too much Taylor, if anything. People are going to say, and I know Buzz is going to have a field day for this because of that caller over a month ago that really made Buzz angry. So flabbergasted. I've never heard Buzz like that. It's those two words that are forbidden to him.
Yep.
People are going to say
Travis and Taylor.
Media.
You missed it. The words.
Care,
Like, what are the words that set me off?
It was mainstream media.
Oh, God. When somebody starts with mainstream media.
So flabbergasted. I've never heard Buzz like that. It's those two words that are forbidden to him. People are going to say it's mainstream media. But for me, I don't care. They show Taylor Swift. They show Taylor Swift. It doesn't affect me. So, yeah, mainstream media. Oh, it burns. It burns.
What burns me up about that phrase, mainstream media, is implying that the only legitimate media are people who say what you
want them to say, right?
To hear.
Everybody else is mainstream media.
Right. Got a call here about they charged the father of the 14-year-old who shot up his high school in Georgia, and they charged him. There are like 4 they're 2 murder charges or a second-degree murder charges. So I think it's 4. God, I don't the legal termination terminology here.
For what?
4 manslaughter charges and 2 second-degree murder charges.
Yes.
For the father.
Oh,
and 8 counts of cruelty to children.
Right. You were questioning me whether we don't know if he was abusive to he was abusive to his son. It is fact.
All right. Here's a call about this.
Good morning, guys. I just want to make a quick comment on the current story about the father of the school shooter that got arrested. When I first saw the headline yesterday, I thought to myself, oh, okay, so we've entered a new era where now parents are being punished for school shootings, which I think should have been done from the beginning.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite certain that would be the case on every shooting. Then I started reading more, and the parallels to this case with the Ethan Crumbley shooting up in Michigan a couple years back are eerily similar. The kid had talked about school shootings. I think he had posted on Discord. They opened the case. They went to go see him. Same as Ethan Crumbley, you recall. The school resources officers and the counselors brought in the parents. So this happened, I guess, last year. And even after that happened, the father of this most recent shooter bought his son an AR-15. Okay, he bought his 14-year-old son an AR-15 for Christmas after what had already happened in the investigation where they had been contacted by the Georgia investigation. So I totally believe that charges are warranted against the father. Maybe parents, because nobody knows that their kid's going to be a school shooter, but maybe if you're a gun family, your kids have guns, maybe there'll be some extra precaution now. Parents got to worry, hey, my kid does something, I may be going to prison for life. And forget the fact of the tragedy that would, set up for other families from that. Well, anyways, guys, just want to make that quick comment.
Yeah, the sheriff and the DA there in Georgia were saying, maybe a 15-year prison sentence will get the message out to other parents. If you got guns and you got disturbed children, you got to keep your guns away from your children. I can hear the Second Amendment radicals already. What good does a gun do you if a burglar's breaking in your house, if it's locked in a safe?
Well, if you're not thoughtful enough to think about the ramifications of having that around your son or daughter.
That they had received a visit from the cops already because they were worried about some of the online content this kid in the most recent shooting had posted.
I think Ian's right, though, that this probably from the very beginning, parents should have been charged with school shooting a long time ago, because where are these kids getting the guns from?
Usually from
the parent. It has to be
either present or they take it without the parent's knowledge. In the case of Newtown, Sandy Hook, the shooter took his mother's gun and killed her. So the mother was the very first person that he killed before he went and shot up that preschool.
It kind of reminds me, Joanna, do you remember in high school parties, and did you ever have a friend's mom or a friend's dad who would be cool and say you could drink at home?
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So there was this mentality behind parents that were it's better if
I know what's happening.
If I know what's happening,
okay, and
I get the alcohol for my son or daughter and their friends to be at home, that's better.
I've heard of that.
That's better than them being out.
Mm-hmm.
That is a very different way from which I
well, no, that's still illegal. And parents were starting to get charged,
so
for contributing to the delinquency of a minor or something,
yes.
providing.
So if parties were happening at a house,
the
parents were getting
charged.
And that, I think, cut down on parents doing that for a while. I know my parents kind of were like, we're not going to do some stuff. But maybe parents should be charged for kids who commit these terrible crimes.
All right. Well, how about picture this scenario? You're a single mother on government assistance living in a very bad part of the city you live in.
Okay.
And your 15-year-old son has somehow got a hold of a gun.
Well, now, see, that's the thing.
Wait. Start targeting.
Is it my gun?
Probably not. I don't know. Let's say in my hypothetical that it is a gun that he got from a relative, maybe not from his mother. Are they then
as a present?
Man, I don't know. It's two different things, but I could see this being applied racially. If somebody wanted to do that, it's like anytime there's gun crime in the inner city, we're going to charge the parent.
If the child had access to the weapon through the parents, then yes, I believe so.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
man.
It's football season. Yeah, here we go.
Once again, to start off this year. And next year, they're going to start off with they're going to leave the Cleveland Browns stain on the carpet.
Leave a smear. That's right.
Woo! Give me a woo! Woo! And now it's a little sore, but you can do it. Woo! Joanna! Woo!
Yeah, Joanna.
Nico.
Whoa.
Nico.
Whoa.
Nico. Come on, Nico. Woo! All right. One more game closer to the, you know what I'm going to say, the Super Bowl. And let's go UTEP too.
Yeah, let's go UTEP.
Yes, nice.
Dallas.
That is.
Dallas Cowboys. We are the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys football.
I haven't heard for that guy since Dallas
End of last year.
bounced out of the playoffs last year.
It's great.
It's great to hear from him. Okay, so we've got football Saturday and Sunday on KLAQ on the main flagship here. UTEP Minor football is going to air, so we are going to have Ultimate Metallica, but in a different time slot. It's going to be this Saturday from 4 to 6. Then the minor game comes on. After the minor game and the post-game show, we'll join Loudwire Weekends already in progress. That's UTEP football this Saturday, tomorrow, starting at the pregame show at 6 o'clock. You can listen to all the UTEP Miners action for the next couple of games on 95.5 KLAQ. And the Dallas Cowboys, as you just heard, their 2024 regular season opener is in Cleveland. It starts at 1:30 pregame show on Sunday, and you can hear it right here on the official radio home of Dallas Cowboys football in El Paso, 95.5 KLAQ. We had a live call, but...
Oh, I think he hung up.
All right. Let's see. I apologize. I try to get to those live calls. You know, I don't want anybody sitting there on hold. Who needs that? Let's go ahead and do our Mo Show calendar. Pardon?
Oh, no, I was just giggling.
Oh, let's do our Mo Show calendar and daily almanac of events for today. Today is National Dog Walker Appreciation Day. Today is National Food Bank Day. Like El Pasoans Fighting Hunger.
Yeah.
That's our local food bank. We've
Yeah.
got a lot of stuff with them, and our listeners have
It's a
gotten
great
involved
cause.
before. It's a really great cause. Today is Stand Up to Cancer Day. And today is National Chianti Day. Do you know what Chianti is? It goes well with fava beans.
The census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I'm going to start saying it like that. Chianti. Chianti.
Did you hear anything about how they didn't really talk on set that much?
Jodie Foster
and
Anthony Hopkins.
And she says she was actually scared of him.
Yeah, look
while
at him.
filming.
Look how freaking creepy that dude is.
And that during that scene, she was not prepared. Like
For that was a improv.
No, the part that was improv where he goes, Clarice, were you listening when you were born on a farm and you're listening to
you still hear the lambs
screaming. Apparently that was improv, and that freaked her out when she kind of looked startled. Like, that's real.
Oh man, what a great movie!
What good actors.
That's now one of my daughter's favorite movies. She
Lambs.
really has great taste in movies.
Because it's all your taste in movies.
And every weekend,
Cute.
that is cute. She asked me pick out a good movie, so I'll pick out. What did she? Oh, Sixth
And do
Sense.
you
She
feel
thought
like a
Sixth-
little good?
Yeah.
Like it makes her heart grow 3 times
Bigger that
bigger.
day.
It might have
She
melted a
likes
little.
your recommendations.
We have a lot of fun watching movies.
I noticed no classics like Lawrence of Arabia or what's the
Godfather.
one about? What's the one about
Godfather?
Yeah, that's a good one. She liked it too, didn't she?
Yeah, oh yeah, she thought Godfather was great.
What's the one with Moses in it?
The Ten Commandments.
The Ten Commandments.
You know that movie's like 3.5 hours long, man.
It's Cecil B. DeMille, though.
Birthdays today include actor Idris Elba, Heimdall from the Thor movies.
Hot.
The dude from The Wire.
No, he's the captain from the big robot movie, Pacific Rim.
Pacific Rim, that's right. Idris Elba, 52 today.
He also worked as a doorman at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York City, where he used to sell Dave Chappelle marijuana.
Good to know.
Is that a true fact?
Yeah. While he was trying to go to acting auditions during the day, he would work as a security mate.
And he sold Dave Chappelle weed on the side.
Yep.
Gotta have a side hustle. Rosie Perez is 60. Puerto Rican actress who was in White Men Can't Jump, Boys in the Hood. Was she? No, not Boys in the Hood. The one in New York.
You're looking at Joanna like she should be your idol. Like this should be one of your heroines.
No. It was a movie, the Spike Lee movie, but it was in New York. God.
Oh my God.
Thank God for Google.
It had Giancarlo Esposito in it as bugging out.
Oh, she's pretty.
What is that movie called?
She's so pretty.
I'm going to Google it.
Do the Right Thing.
Oh!
Yeah. Got it. It just came to me. As soon as I decided I'm not going to try and think of it.
Oh, I got it.
Thought of it.
It's called Do the Right Thing.
Shut up. Rosie Perez is 60.
That was her breakthrough. Do the Right Thing.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Michael Winslow, who he was the guy that does all the sound effects with his mouth and pulling.
We had him here.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We had him in the studio. He was also in Spaceballs. Michael Winslow was here just a couple months ago.
Jam the radar. Strawberry or grape?
66 today for Michael Winslow. And comedian Jeff Foxworthy also having a birthday. He's 66 today. That is more than 3 decades of You Might Be a Redneck from Jeff Foxworthy. Jane Curtin from Saturday Night Live is 77. I think she was in the original cast, wasn't she? Was she one of the very first ones? She was the Conehead wife, was one of her famous characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and she was in Third Rock from the Sun, of course.
And she was Jane, you ignorant slut. She was did those scenes with Dan Aykroyd. From Pink Floyd, Roger Waters is 81 today, and country music outlaw legend David Allan Coe has a birthday. He's 85 today.
Roger Waters, like the director?
No, that's John Waters.
Oh, God.
Roger Waters is in the band. Pink Floyd, you might want to familiarize yourself with them.
Yeah,
very influential rock group. We do play them still to this day.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of that album that they're famous for.
Oh, my God.
Dark Side of the Moon? Is that it?
Yeah, good job.
Hey!
So proud of you.
The Wall.
I was going to say The Wall, but then I was like, that sounds stupid.
And September all month long is Pleasure Your Mate Month.
Oh.
Oh, is it?
I don't know if that implies anything sexual, but it could just be like, hey, clean up the garage without having to be asked, or make her breakfast.
Buzz, I'm your mate.
No, you're not.
You guys are mates in some way.
In the friend way, like, hey, mate.
Yeah, you know how
I'm a mate, like if we were in Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hello. Did you know September 1st marks the beginning of Pleasure Your Mate Month? Yep, it's true. In fact, my mate has begun the day by preparing me a steak, giving me a foot massage, and a couple of other treats too hot to mention, all to ensure that I'm completely pleasured. Some of you may ask, so, how are you going to return the favor? Simple. By letting her know how much I appreciate her efforts of pleasuring me, by simply letting her know how much I appreciate her efforts of pleasuring me. That's all there is to it. Yep. By the way, you're doing great with that foot massage, honey. Real top notch. I'm glad I'm giving you an opportunity to help give me my pleasure. Yes. Pleasure Your Mate Month. Give your lady friend the pleasure of pleasuring you.
The
And 2022 Jeep 777, 2023 Mazda CX-50, 27,777.
Casa Buick GMC, Montana at Airway.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Well, you guys ready for the weekend? I guess you're not.
Oh, sorry. I was arguing with my headphones.
Yeah, sorry. I was reading out chat messages.
I need new headphones.
People can send messages that everybody, I don't see them, but Nico and Joanna do. And that's through our KLAQ app chat on the KLAQ mobile app. Got a few calls. I'll get to these. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese May is standing by.
It's Cheese May.
I'll get to that in just a second.
Okay, hey Buzz, this is 5 Point Guy. Hey Joanna, Nico. I want to include you guys in the introduction of my calls as well, because you guys are literally, honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When Buzz was out yesterday for his colonoscopy, it was so nice to hear Joanna and Nico and Alberto talk without Buzz interrupting every 3 seconds. It was.
What are you doing to me, 5 points?
Great, like honestly. No. And then you guys kept airing best. Okay, you guys, I'm yelling now. You guys kept airing best of segments. I'm like, no, why? I want to hear Joanna and Nico and Alberto. I want to hear you guys talk without Buzz chipping in every 2 seconds.
What?
Anyways,
what are you doing to him?
Buzz. That's your name. 2 cent Buzz. Anyway, I'm just kidding, Buzz. I hope you're colonoscopy went well.
Yeah.
I'm already in a minute. Damn it, I was supposed to get this call through. Oh God, it's hard.
Okay, all right. I'm glad that you enjoy when I'm gone. 5 Points Guy.
Aw. Not everybody enjoys it.
Morning, guys. You know what? I was just to respond to the case about the parent getting arrested for the kid's school shooting.
I think I heard he's calling to talk about the parent who got arrested, the parent of the 14-year-old school shooter.
Thank you for translating.
I see.
It almost sounds like some of these parents that buy the weapons for their kids, that especially the ones that have caused the school shootings, it's almost like they do it out of spite. Like, just to say, like, don't tell me what I can't do with my kids. I'm going to buy them a gun if I want to. And they'll just chance it, despite the fact that someone might have told them, like, hey, your kids have been next to you, you'll be a little sussy. So, you know, yeah, it was just a thought that just ran into my head. All right. Have a good morning, guys. Bye.
So they arrested the father of the 14-year-old shooter at the Georgia high school. They had been visited last year. I think they said going all the way back to, he'd been on the radar of law enforcement.
May of 2023.
Of 2023. They went to visit and said, your son is posting some stuff. We're concerned about it, but they didn't have probable cause to do anything. Yeah, I think it's possible that there are parents out there, probably mostly dads, but parents who are like, you know what? Government can't tell me to do, and they can't tell my son what to do. I'm going to get him an AR-15 for Christmas. I don't know if that's what happened, but, there are just some people who are defiant,
Which really goes to the need for legislation of this, is that you will have people like that.
There was a 10-year span where you could not get an AR-15. The gun people are very specific here. If I get some of the terminology wrong, there was an assault
weapon ban in the 90s,
94, but it expired in 2004. George W. Bush was president, did not renew the ban on assault-style weapons. These things hold so many bullets, and they shoot them at such velocity that it is no wonder they're the favorite for people who do mass shootings.
Well, there's no difference between that and a single-shot rifle.
Please make that argument, because that is an easy argument.
It's a semi-automatic.
Yeah, that holds 35 rounds.
Right. And
it doesn't do anything other than kill. You know what I mean? You don't go hunting with an AR. Or if you do, you're not a good shot, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
The reason so many school shooters pick it out is because that its number one and only job is to kill people.
Right. You don't see a lot of school shooters going for the Remington.
Yeah, they don't bring, a 410 shotgun. No, you go with what you can, whatever can cause the most hazard, the most danger.
Remember back in the day, it was handguns that people were really concerned about?
Yeah, through the 80s and 90s, anytime they talked about gun control, it had to do with handguns, and cops were very much in favor of banning handguns because it's just too easy to carry it on you everywhere you go. And police back in the 1990s saw it as, hey, if everybody out there is armed, that's going to make our job a lot more dangerous. So, yeah, the cops, police unions were against that. But when they talked about gun control, they were mainly talking about handguns for the longest time. You know why they weren't talking about assault rifles? Because they had been outlawed in 1994 by Bill Clinton.
Right. You know what's so weird? I'm starting to watch The West Wing again. There's like
look at that in court, that little redheaded mop. That is a child. That's the kid who did the shooting.
Oh
that
my
mop
God.
of red hair. You can't even see his face.
Wait, so they have courtroom footage of him from like a year ago already?
Yeah, this is from a year ago because anything that's going on today when he's finally in court.
No, this is him in court doing his plea.
Yeah, this is him doing the plea for the recent shooting. So it looks like he's answering questions, but he is just like, you know how some 14-year-olds can look like 19-year-olds? This is a 14-year-old who looks like a 10-year-old. Yeah.
Wow.
The family was evicted in July 2022. The police took firearms at that time in 2023. Deputies interviewed the shooter and his father about online threats being flagged. December 2023, Colin Gray bought a gun for Colt, his son, the gun that the teen allegedly used in the shooting. I mean, I don't think that would be a bad place to start. Hey, any ARs that are out there now are grandfathered in. I don't think it's possible to go door to door.
They won't do a buyback.
There's never going to be a buyback.
Like Australia or anything.
It's too infested. There are just too many guns out there. But going forward, a ban on those same weapons that were covered in the 1994 assault weapons ban.
What do you say to the people who are like, well, if the cartel members have ARs and assault weapons, then we need those too?
I'm talking about America, not Mexico.
I know, I am too. Some people are so deathly afraid of Venezuelan gangs taking over their suburb or...
You know, really, a lot of the argument I hear is it's my right, Constitution says so, I can own whatever I want to, and the government can't do anything about it. I mean, that's just putting their foot down, but children are dying, man. And the rest of the world knows that it only happens here, this kind of stuff.
Right.
Your excuse or your reason needs to be something a little better than, I want to keep my toys. As an adult.
Alex in our app chat says, we do use our AR-15 to hunt. We hunt hogs with them. Don't blame the gun, blame the shooter. There are a lot of guns that hold multiple rounds, not just the AR-15.
Yeah. So that to me, here's what that sounds like. We can't do anything.
Right.
There's just nothing. We're just going to have to live with it.
Right.
Walk it off. Shake it off. How many kids were killed? Yeah, well, they'll get over it. Not the dead ones, of course.
Or as J.D. Vance says, it's just a fact of life.
It's just a fact of life.
Good morning show. So I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but it's just crazy the American society that we live in nowadays. Like, we're going to do absolutely no gun reform, like nothing. Like, no matter how much children's lives are lost or innocent people's lives are lost, we don't want to make any changes, right?
85% of the country is in favor of what we would call common sense gun law. Not a complete ban.
Right.
Not even going door to door, house to house and taking away guns, nothing like that. Common sense gun laws, 85% of the country are in favor of it.
But we also know, like, no matter how many children pass away, and we also don't want to make any changes to get any kind of medical coverage. Like, no matter how many children pass away there. Like, where are we at as a society, man? It's crazy. Like we like to live in hell and call it heaven. I don't know, bro. It's crazy that there's so much accessibility to these type of firearms. Crazy, man. I'm a CDL driver, and for me to keep my CDL, I got to do physical tests every 2 years, and it's just got to happen. That's just for CDL. And we can't have checks like this for people that buy these type of weapons.
Most people are in favor of enhanced background checks. Red flag. Thank you. Appreciate it. Red flag laws. That kind of common sense stuff.
Not taking away every gun, all your guns. It just amazes me that some people still think that, and we shouldn't be talking about this. Matt says your conversation is going to piss off a whole lot of people. Okay.
Never shied away from that before.
Nick says, let's go with the news and entertainment, guys. I'm not here to watch Fox or CNN.
Okay.
We have to report on these things.
This is what's happening.
Like, every time this happens, every time in the news, I have to say again, another school shooting. It's like, I feel like I'm dying a little bit inside every time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Buzz, I forgot to tell you guys. First thing I do in the morning is I put you guys on my phone, listen to you guys. I usually start tuning in around 6:50. But I did not want to go to work today. I wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling good. My asthma was acting up. It was just one of those days, you know. I had to force myself to get up, and I'm usually not that type of person. Usually I'm up and I'm ready. But, yeah, when you started playing that little bit from the archives, the Beetlejuice dialing for dingbats, that just brought so much joy and not memories, but it did basically it definitely turned my frown upside down is what I'm trying to say.
Great.
And I really, really, really love hearing those past segments. I wish you would play more of them, Buzz. I think your show has aged very well with time.
Like a fine wine.
Think that. Like I said, your show has aged. It's aged well. That's all I can say. Have a good one, guys.
Well, I appreciate that. I want to play. Should I play that call? Or I had other calls we used Beetlejuice soundboard for.
Oh, yeah.
But the one from the other day is one of the best.
The iconic one, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let me play that one that he heard. And then since today's the day Beetlejuice is in all theaters, I'll do another one
before you do that. We had a really interesting neckline call yesterday. Joanna was putting on some best ofs, and in one of them you talked about how every once in a while you like to have a little beer in the shower.
Hey, Buzz. My name's Tim. You mentioned shower beers earlier, but I was really wondering, you say that's close to alcoholism? That sounds like pure alcoholism to me. You're going to sit there and drink a beer in the shower. I don't know. It just sounds weird.
I guess I should talk about joints in the shower, huh?
You're not the only one that does shower beers.
Right. Shower beer is a phenomenon, dude. It happens.
Yes, we're dialing for dingbats. Dialing. Oh, yes, we're dialing for dingbats. Dialing. Oh, yes, we're dialing.
Constant Department, can I help you?
See, here's my problem. I got these friends that I said I'd meet, you know, and that's the kind of thing I have to be there in person, you know. So I was just wondering, could you help me out here?
Yes, we do have costumes.
Good. Here we go then. Ready?
Okay. What did you need help with?
Well, I can't tell you.
Would you like to talk to Merritt? She's kind of cool.
Yes!
Okay.
Come on, hey, where'd you go?
Hello?
You think I'm qualified?
Qualified for what?
Well, I attended Juilliard. I'm a graduate of the Harvard Business School. I travel quite extensively. I lived through the Black Plague, and I had a pretty good time during that. I've seen The Exorcist about 167 times, and it keeps getting funnier every single time I see it. Not to mention the fact that you're talking to a dead guy. Now, what do you think? You think I'm qualified?
I guess.
What do you think of this? You like it?
I'm sorry, sir. I have no idea. I can't see what you're doing over the phone, so I have no idea what it is.
You bunch of losers!
We're a bunch of losers?
You're working with a professional here!
I'm sure you are.
Go ahead. Make my millennium.
Dialing. Oh, yes, we're dialing for dingbats. Dialing.
Hey, it's OG. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show on
the deals all on a first-come, first-sold basis. Warehouse clearance event now at National Furniture Liquidators.
Nobody beats Shorty.
Broadcasting in El Paso to El Paso. The Buzz Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
All right, Joanna is going to have the Hollywood Cheese May coming up here in just a few minutes. I want to tell you about the cash code, the Money Talks cash code that begins on Monday, September 16th. So we've got cash codes back. And I'll give you a few details, what we have anyway. So Marky Ramone from the Ramones is going to come by the studio later, man.
What?
Yeah, Marky Ramone from the Ramones is at this weekend's Soldier Con on Fort Bliss.
Oh,
they have a lot of celebrities, but one of the surviving Ramones, Marky Ramone.
Joanna, how do you feel about that?
Oh my God.
Are you a huge Ramones fan?
I mean, I listened to them in high school, yeah.
I mean,
yeah, but
she was a goth chick. Come on.
Was not.
I'm not even sure that's goth music.
So Marky joined the Ramones in 1978, but a lot of the stuff that's just like iconic that they did was after Marky joined the band, like Rock and Roll High School. This song was recorded when Marky was a member.
Oh, no way.
Yep, Marky.
Nice. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Yeah, so Marky Ramone, and there are not many of the members of the Ramones that are still around. Hey, he got kicked out of the band for about 3 years, but then he cleaned up, got off drugs and alcohol, and came back and rejoined the band August 1987.
Were the Ramones kind of famous for their parting?
I don't know that I would say any more so than any other band out of that era.
To be honest, I just see their names on T-shirts at Hot Topic so much.
You just see the Ramones names on Hot Topic T-shirts that you figure, well, they must be good.
Yeah. I wanna be sedated. And I like the song.
Marky Ramone coming up later on the show.
Can I ask him if he ever saw Phil Spector use a gun before?
Oh my God! Why would you ask him that about Phil Spector?
Because they worked together.
Did they?
They did.
Yeah, maybe. Let's see how it goes.
Maybe save that for later.
It just says they worked with producer Phil Spector.
So what was it like? Did he have the gun in studio all the time?
See the gun?
We got plenty we could talk to Marky Ramone about.
Sure.
Cash is coming back. Money talks. Suckers walk.
Money
they can't touch my 3-lock box.
Remind me to get that ringtone.
The Q cash codes are going to pay out starting September 16th. That's Monday. You could win this time around $30,000. There'll be 10 winners every day for $100. So we're giving away $1,000 every weekday once we start Money Talks. Open the KLAQ mobile app for the details on this. Money Talks and the Q cash codes pay, and they will start on Monday, September 16th. All right, time for Joanna's Hollywood news. It is the Hollywood Cheese May. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Keke Palmer is starring in a new dark comedy series on Peacock. The show will be a TV adaptation of the 80s dark comedy The Burbs, which starred Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher. The show will film on the backlot of Universal Studios, just like the movie did back in 1989. It is set in present-day suburbia. The Burbs follows a young couple returning to the husband's childhood home. And the official logline for the show says, quote, "Their world is upended when new neighbors move in next door, bringing old secrets of the cul-de-sac to light, and new deadly threats shatter the illusion of their quiet little neighborhood."
Mm-hmm. Did you watch the other one? The 80s one?
Yeah.
What was it called?
The Burbs?
The Burbs.
With Tom Hanks?
You're just tuning me out, aren't you?
No.
At some point, you got to admit,
wait.
he's just tuning you out.
Well, I got a little distracted. But
The one with Tom Hanks? She said it at the top. Yeah, they're doing a remake of this.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, there's a creepy family that lives next door or something. Is Tom Hanks going to be in it?
No.
No.
But this is going to be like a more horror version of it?
It's a TV show.
Oh, a TV show. Okay.
So funny.
Moving on.
That was so worth it.
Oh, God.
You know, it's not every day you hear that you're gonna meet one of the Ramones.
Did you just get that?
I just did. Just right when I started talking about it.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Teresa Johnson, a.k.a. Risa Tisa on TikTok, is turning her popular series, Who the F Did I Marry?, into a TV show. The series on TikTok, which is about her real-life marriage to a man she described as a narcissist and pathological liar, originally lasted for 50 parts and was about 8 hours long, helping her gain over 3 million followers. Actress Natasha Rothwell from White Lotus fame will star as Johnson and also serve as executive producer. Johnson announced it on TikTok, expressing her excitement about the adaptation, and fans are eagerly looking forward to the show.
So it's funny that you even mentioned like the length of it. And that we're going by TikTok length. We're not even talking about like episodes of anything.
No, it's like TikTok. Oh my God. Sometimes I just can't with those where they're all like, oh, this is
part 1.
Part 1. Go to part 13, part 16.
Oh my God.
Oh, it gets so terrible. And I'm like, I've just wasted like 2 hours of my life here.
So this woman documented her relationship with what she's saying is a narcissistic psychopath?
Yeah. Over 50 parts.
Was she married to him?
Yes. Because the series is called Who
Who
the F Did I
Did
Marry?
Yeah. I'm listening, I promise. Do you think at this point people are just monetizing bad relationships?
Oh,
Everybody's had a bad relationship.
There's like a show, Worst Ex Ever, or something like that.
Yeah. And if I just, talked about it online a lot.
Let's talk about the time the guy that I went to the movies with wanted to watch Gemini Man instead of Joker.
Yeah, this is Joanna's.
Part 13.
This is Joanna's villain origin story.
That's my villain origin story.
You had to sit through Gemini Man.
I didn't even offer to pay for the snacks. I was so upset.
All right.
The creators of South Park, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, have decided to postpone the upcoming season 27 of the show until 2025. In a nutshell, they say that it's not as fun to produce the show during presidential elections, especially with the current political climate. They're also tired of tackling Donald Trump for another election and feel that they have covered enough about him in previous seasons.
No matter how great you are as a satirist, there are some people, and I think he's one of them, that it
defies satire.
It defies satire because you're never going to come up with anything. Him and RFK Jr., you could not satirize the latest RFK Jr. story.
That you're already such a weird, extreme
And you're kind of like, where do we go from here?
Yeah, we can't make this any weirder or extremer.
Right.
You beheaded a whale with a chainsaw and then strapped it on the roof of your car.
That could be a South Park bit.
That could be a South Park bit.
Save the head for me. The last content from South Park this year was a special on Paramount Plus titled South Park, The End of Obesity, which aired in May and was about Cartman being denied an Ozempic prescription.
Yeah, it's like they do one almost movie twice a year.
And they're like, you
That's
know
kind
what,
of what it
that's
seems
enough.
like. They don't do weekly episodes.
I kind of like this version. I do miss the weekly ones, though.
Yeah, but there's so much time in between them, I forget what they're on.
Buzz and I used to, during pandemic, we would watch South Park pretty regularly.
Aw.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Joanna, Fishy Fish in our app chat says there's a girl on TikTok that will watch all those videos for you, each of the parts, and then just summarize it into one video.
And then she also is all like, now watch part 2 where I finished summarizing it. And I'm like, just tell me in one video. Sick of it. Melissa McCarthy and Clive Owen are set to lead a limited series on the JonBenet Ramsey case at Paramount Plus. The show was first reported to be in the works back in March, but it had not landed at Paramount Plus at the time. McCarthy and Owen will star as JonBenet's parents, Patsy and JonBenet Ramsey. Currently titled JonBenet Ramsey, the true crime series will explore the murder of 6-year-old JonBenet, who was found dead in the basement of her family's home just hours after she was reported missing. The official description for the show states it follows the Ramsey family before and after the tragedy as they go through the painful loss of a child while facing intense public scrutiny caused by a media frenzy that caused this case to captivate an entire nation.
Remember a few years ago they had a bunch of, it must have been the anniversary of it or something?
I think so, yes.
Like the 20th anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
And it really seemed like they were trying to pin it on the brother, not the
Yes.
older brother, the younger
The little brother.
Right. Yeah.
Well, not
there
the
was
little one. I think he was a little older than her.
Didn't they accuse the dad at the time?
Some
At the
people
time, they accused
thought
the dad.
They accused the mom.
But then they
suspected the
in
mom.
the-
They
a lot-
suspected the older brother who was already out of the house, right?
Right. And then.
But this kid was just a
one-
year or two older than John
Yeah.
Bonet.
So, like, a lot of the new documentaries that came out were like, it was this kid for sure.
And they interviewed him, right?
Yeah, they did.
And he seems like he might be somewhere on the spectrum, but it seems like they were really trying to pin it on this guy who must have been like 6 or 7.
Do you remember the coverage of the story at the time it happened?
Yeah.
God, I remember
it's all
just
over.
seeing her,
Nancy Grace
her
had it on every
face
night.
all over the magazines and tabloids and like that.
Well, because she was like a
She was a little pageant,
pageant
girl.
queen.
She was 6 years old.
So they had headshots of her.
Right. And I was like, wow, this girl's wearing a lot of makeup. Very glamorous. So weird. And
Child pageants are creepy, man. I'm
Yeah.
going
Are
to
a
say
little
it, and
creepy,
I'm
yeah.
not going to say it again, but child pageants are creepy.
for sure. And finally, if you need your fix of that pesky poltergeist before the hotly anticipated sequel hits, no need to say his name 3 times because Tubi has your back. The animated Beetlejuice series is free to stream on Tubi. All 4 seasons hit the streaming service just in time for the best season of the year, spooky season. If you already watched the original film to death, this is the perfect opportunity to get caught up on everything this bio-exorcist has to offer before the sequel escapes the netherworld. The series, which ran from 1989 to 1991, made a couple key changes to the established lore. The biggest one being that Lydia Dietz was best friends with Beetlejuice, rather than the former wanting nothing to do with this undead monster after he attempted to marry her. The show was also more kid-friendly, despite keeping the franchise's gothic aesthetic.
Remember how green the animated Beetlejuice's teeth were?
Yes.
They're super green.
His breath must have been horrible.
I think they always did that little animation where, like, smoke
would come out of a little cloud.
Yeah. With your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Thank you, Joanna. Joanna
welcome.
works really hard before the show begins to get together the late night roundup. This is a compilation of funniest moments and highlights from late night talkers last night. Here we go.
The Wall Street Journal said the New York Jets could win it all this year. Wow. That is huge coming from the ultimate football authority, the Wall Street Journal.
Kansas City, Taylor Swift took on the Baltimore Ravens. There was a lot of speculation about whether she would be at the game or not. Not only was there speculation, her fans have already done the math based on her tour dates. The Swifties believe Taylor will be able to make 14 regular season games this year. That's when you know you're really famous, when your fans start working out your schedule for you.
McDonald's has announced it will add a mini McFlurry to its menu. The way it works is the machine is still broken, but you're a little less disappointed.
During all NFL games this season, Applebee's will offer 50-cent boneless wings and a bucket of cocktails. That explains their new slogan, Applebee's will make you feel like you've been tackled.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our
Buyer's eligible plan, coverage, and other restrictions apply. Visit att.com/onenetwork for details.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Well, the weekend is pretty much here. And the weather is going to be really nice. It's going to be in the 80s. You know, it's almost 20 degrees cooler than it was a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, it's nice. Not much rain in the forecast. In fact, mostly sunny this weekend. And winds are going to be under 10 miles an hour. It's not very often that I get to do this, but I'm calling all 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, A+ for golf or tennis or pickleball or whatever you like to do outside. Yeah, really nice days ahead here for the weekend. I've got a true crime report standing by. I have a Florida man story, but it's one I kind of talked about in another segment, so I don't think it's fair. It's definitely not worth the $10,000 prize if you win the Florida man game, considering I think you've already heard the story. But I promised the guy who really liked the Beetlejuice call from the archives. It's a Beetlejuice soundboard, so you just call somebody on the phone and then you push buttons to answer them. They enjoyed it so much, I got another one to play. So, Beetlejuice soundboard, who's he going to call next?
Dialing. Oh, yes, we're dialing for Dingbats. Dialing. Oh, yes, we're dialing for Dingbats. Dialing.
Can I help you?
I wonder where a guy, an everyday Joe like myself, can find a little action.
What are you hunting for?
I'm feeling a little, anxious, if you know what I mean.
No. I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean.
Hey, come on! What do you want me to do?
I have no idea, sir.
Come on. What do I have to do to strike a deal with you, huh?
Come in, see what we've got. We'll be glad to show you. Can I help you with anything else? If not, I'll have to go.
Oh, come on. Don't go yet. Hey, guy, come on. We're simpatico here. Look at us. Huh? We even shop at the same store.
Okay, I'll have to go, sir. We close at 5. Thank you.
Hey, it's okay. You know why? I don't want to do business with you deadbeats anyway.
That was as good as the other one. From the archives, Joanna. From the archives.
From the vault.
Don't kill people you don't know. Don't shoot you with guns. Don't rob gas stations and banks. Don't rob liquor stores elsewhere. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. Don't sell illegal drugs. Don't bust people in the head.
Please.
Don't stick up people for money.
Don't do it.
Don't ever take things that don't belong to you.
Refrain from that.
It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. It is time for our True Crime Report. And I've got to start, Joanna, with the arrest of one of the 1,000-pound sisters, because there's so many peculiar details about this.
A 500-pound arrest, you would say?
Remind me, are they 1,000 pounds apiece, or they add up to 1,000?
A combined weight of 1,000.
They probably don't just split it 500, though.
No.
One of them
is significantly. Well, I mean, they both have the surgery now, so they've lost a lot of weight.
Well, Amy Slayton from the reality show 1,000-Pound Sisters.
She has had it rough lately.
And this was all on Monday, so an eventful Labor Day, okay?
Okay.
She went to a place called Tennessee Safari Park with her kids, plus a man named Brian. And it sounds like this is the type of place you drive through and the zebras come up to your car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, during her visit to this Tennessee Safari Park, Amy claimed she was bitten by one of their camels.
Oh, God.
While she was being treated for her injuries, park employees noticed a suspicious smell. They found marijuana and mushrooms sitting in plain sight in her car.
Trying to party.
Amy and her male companion were arrested on drug possession and child endangerment charges. Does that mean the park employees called the cops on him, or the park employees...
Maybe they already had cops
Maybe they already had a cop on site.
Right.
They were also charged with child endangerment since she had her two kids
That's
there.
not going to go good with her divorce.
Kids were placed in custody of other family members. Amy from 1,000 Pound Sisters
Probably
shares.
her sister Amanda.
They probably gave them to the sister. Are they twins?
No.
Oh, I've never seen
Amy
an episode.
is the oldest. And then it's Tammy.
Amy shares.
But they have 2 other sisters and a brother, and all of them now have gotten the surgery as well.
They don't have like a single skinny sibling?
No.
Oh, that's interesting.
TMZ spoke with one of the owners of the Tennessee Safari Park, and he says that everybody there, based on what they know and they've seen over the years, are very skeptical that Amy was even bitten by a camel.
She's just had it rough lately since the divorce.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she shares her 2 kids with ex-husband Michael Holterman.
Do you think she was high on mushrooms? Maybe?
And just thought that
she was bitten
got
by a
bitten.
camel?
They're like, we don't even have camels here.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
Well, if she hadn't complained about being bit by... there are no camels
There's no camels here.
But she would not have been arrested if they hadn't gone over to and seen this stuff just laying out openly in her car. I mean, but what? It's weed and mushrooms. Is that it? Yeah, just weed and mushrooms. It's all natural, man.
All natural.
A guy went to the police station to ask for the return of his drugs, which sounds like a bad move, but this guy, 24-year-old Christopher Gansel, got to the police station by stealing a car. He stole a car from a parking lot last month near Philadelphia. It was one of these things. Have you ever seen people, I'm just going to go in for a second, so I'm just going to leave the car running? It was one of those situations. And this guy just hopped in and drove away in the 2023 Subaru Forester. Well, the guy took off in it. Where'd he go? He went to the police station.
To turn himself in?
No. The reason he went is the dumbest part of the story. Apparently, he had a prior run-in with police. They had taken drugs off of him, and he wanted to go down to the police station and ask for his drugs back.
I need it back.
Now, the cops didn't realize that he had stolen a car to get there, but they did moments later when they got the report that he had just used it as a getaway car for another crime. He had tried to shoplift stuff from a nearby Target and was seen speeding off in the same green Subaru Forester.
Sounds about right.
So they tracked him down and arrested him. He's now facing 2 felony charges for stealing the car, plus a misdemeanor charge for unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Come on, give me my drugs back. I need to sell them. I need to make rent.
Don't you sometimes think it's like some people just want to go to jail? They're like the old man in Shawshank Redemption. That's just, I'll do anything to get back behind bars.
Yeah, maybe. Like they don't know what it's like to live on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, how do you deliver yourself to the police station in a stolen car asking for your illicit narcotics
if
back?
you don't want to go back to prison?
It's somewhere deep down, maybe not all that deep down, there's a part of you that wants to go to jail. Well, a drunk driver crashed into a police cruiser early Monday. This happened in New York. The crash happened while the police were arresting another drunk driver. No one was seriously hurt, though. This was also Labor Day, so early Monday in Buffalo, New York. Troopers were arresting an alleged drunk driver. This was 34-year-old Richard Morrow. After they found his car stopped on the road and him slumped over the steering wheel. Well, that's when another drunk driver, 25-year-old Elizabeth Percy, drove into the scene, striking one of the police cruisers. She was also charged with DWI and taken into custody. No one was seriously hurt. The first drunk driver had some minor injuries. And another story involving alcohol. I'm telling you, it's the demon for some people. You heard this story about a drunk driver crashing into a police cruiser. 2 suspected drunk drivers crashed into each other on Labor Day.
Oh, man.
in Marysville, California. When the police arrived on the scene, they determined right away that one driver was intoxicated because the other driver had already driven off. Police tracked them down, and he was also found to be under the influence of alcohol.
Oh, my God.
So
Damn.
Two DWI drivers hit each other. No injuries were reported. Both were booked into local jail. This is when I would do the Florida Man game, but it's not going to count because I talked about this story already. A Florida man, I'll just do a pretend round. A Florida man punched a guy who complimented his blank. Road rage incident. Florida man. Here, I got to put you in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, please.
Runs naked through a dairy farm. Florida man, who never fears any bodily harm. Florida man, who's made love to a dozen trees. Throws tennis balls that are full of bees. Who tries to bite every cop he sees. Florida man.
All right, let's hurry this along a little bit.
All right.
Florida man hits driver who complimented his blank, Joanna.
I know this story already, so I'm gonna bow out of this round. It's all you,
Honorable
Nico.
thing to do.
Truck nuts. Nice truck nuts.
Good answer.
A 53-year-old Florida man named John Sturgeon was driving his souped-up Dodge Charger on Sunday. A guy in another car waved and told him he had a nice car.
That's it? The car? That's the answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Sturgeon, the guy with the Dodge Charger, got out of his car in the middle of the road, went back to the driver's side window, and punched the guy in the face.
Nice car. Don't you talk about my mama like that.
Here, the guy did have a dash cam, so we have audio of the interaction.
You want to clap? You big tough guy? I'm trying to tell you, nice car, bro. I like your car. You better pay attention.
What?
Oh my God.
I like it. I like you.
I liked it.
The expression on the guy's face, you could tell he's very confused that this was the reaction he got for telling the guy, nice car. Sturgeon jumped back in his Dodge Charger and took off. But the dash cam did get a clear shot of his license plate. Police were able to ID him. Last we've heard, they haven't tracked him down, though. People online did track down his Facebook page, and he's posted several shots of his prized Dodge Charger on Facebook. So they've been leaving comments like, nice car, bro, and this is the car that can't take a compliment. Yeah, that one doesn't count. Because we'd already had this story.
Who plays baseball with a feral cat? Florida man. Tried to stab his boss with a sewer rat. Florida man. Who snorts crank then screams in the street. Whose favorite food is human meat. Who gave Marco Rubio a Senate seat. Florida man.
All right, we got to take a break. Marky Ramone is coming into the studio today. One of the members of the Ramones. Marky Ramone is going to be here, and he's at SoldierCon on base at Fort Bliss this weekend. Let's take a break, and we have more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show on the way right after this.
Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, Glenn Garza and Daniel Paulus.
For your property, your family's safety, and your peace of mind, Dr. Dave Spielman, the Borderlands Chief Meteorologist.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Joanna.
Yes.
I just said hi to Marky Ramone in the hallway.
I just passed Marky Ramone, and he didn't even look at me.
Yeah.
It's awesome. That felt awesome.
That was awesome.
Marky Ramone is going to be at SoldierCon, which is this weekend. And we'll get more details about that coming up. But I guess we got time to do a little news here, Nico, if you're ready.
Yeah, let's do a little news.
Here we go.
Wow! was good.
Whammy, blammy, wowie, zowie.
This is Funky Friday. Funky Friday.
Here is Nico Jimian with our Friday headlines. Good morning, Nico.
Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning.
So, Trump staffers that were involved in that cemetery kerfuffle over the past weekend have finally been identified. Citing a source with knowledge of the incident, NPR is identifying the two Trump aides involved as Deputy Campaign Manager Justin Caporali and Michelle Picard, a member of the former president's advance team. NPR stated that after emailing the two men for comment, it received an email from campaign spokesperson Stephen Chung, who says, "I see you've been emailing some of our team members. As the Army has said, they consider this matter closed." Not for everyone.
I don't know. Seems like a journalist job to talk to the people who were involved in the scuffle,
right?
Whatever it was.
Yeah, I would think so too. And Starlink, you know, that internet service that's provided by Elon Musk company, Starlink. Well, a U.S. Navy vessel was recently in the middle of controversy after a commander of the ship installed Starlink on the top so they could watch TV and check sports scores. Command Senior Chief Grisel Moreno, among other senior staff, installed the Starlink onto wood pallets on top of the ship with zip ties so they could check sports scores, text home, and stream movies to the U.S. Navy vessel while it was deployed in the Pacific West, free from those pesky restrictions of Navy-monitored connections.
Okay.
You know how they found out about it? Other soldiers on the ship started to notice a Wi-Fi network with the rather glaring name Stinky, which appears to be one of the default names for a Starlink connection.
Stinky.
Isn't that ridiculous?
Yeah, kind of crazy.
And I've got a clip of Donald Trump. Donald Trump gave a speech at an economic forum recently.
Okay, I got your audio potted up.
Thank you very much. And he was giving an answer about child care, or he was responding to a question about child care. I believe this was let me get the exact name. It was an economic forum.
I heard this quote.
You already heard the rambling?
Yeah, so it's just, look, Kamala, too, is as vague as you could possibly
No. Stop. This is not vagueness. We're not talking about just random vagaries. He doesn't have the coherent ability to keep a thought in. Have you heard this part?
Well, I saw the Kamala interview with Dana Bash last week, and it's like anything specific, she doesn't really get to it.
No, but that's not the same at all. You're comparing apples and oranges. This dude right here doesn't even have he sounds like he can't even read. Sure, they might both be light on actual policy proposals.
Right.
Okay,
neither one of them.
I'm not
really
even.
wants to talk
That's
about
not the
policy.
point. I'm not trying to talk about the policy part of this. I'm trying to talk about this person being illiterate. I'm not even sure he can read.
All right. Well, let me hear.
All right. Am I potted? Oh, I'm muted. Sorry.
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody, we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue, but I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that, because look, childcare is childcare. There's something, you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it. But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country.
Are we lost by now?
I kind of got lost there. The question was about child care, like a specific policy.
This was what specific piece of legislation?
I'd like it if they just said, well, I don't have any specifics, but, I need... If you don't have any specifics, maybe just say, I don't have any specifics, but we realize it's an important issue. And we're definitely
you can't even compare this to Kamala Harris's statement. This is complete BS rambling.
I've heard Kamala Harris engage in some word salad before.
Like this? If you can honestly compare this the same.
I mean, what's your next story?
Did you pop me down?
Yeah, I did.
Why?
I thought you were done.
They'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits.
Okay. So he's talking about his tariff on imported goods.
It will help childcare somehow.
Well, that'll be so much that we'll be getting so much money from foreign governments who want to get their products in, or foreign business interests, that it's just everything will be free, I guess.
Dude, that is like crazy. All right. Well, an unexpected development surprised most who were watching the beginning of jury selection for Hunter Biden's tax evasion trial yesterday. Instead, I can't believe you're equivocating so much on that you think that Kamala Harris is just as inept as a speaker as Donald Trump.
I'm saying that at this point in a lot of election cycles, the candidates do not want to get down to the nuts and bolts and tell you exactly what they're planning. And that I've seen other politicians.
Plus, she might say child tax care child care credits, or this, that, but you cannot honestly equivocate the two.
Would just hurry because Marky Ramone is here.
Well, are we going to wait for break or no? Before he gets in.
Stop fighting.
Well, I haven't seen him come back, so let's keep going. Let's plunge ahead.
Okay. An unexpected development surprised most who were watching the beginning of jury selection for Hunter Biden's tax evasion trial yesterday. Instead of going to trial, Biden pleaded guilty to 9 tax evasion charges. The plea was reportedly not part of a deal with prosecutors, who said they heard about the change of plea in the courtroom when Biden's defense team announced it. U.S. District Judge Mark Scarsi accepted the guilty plea and set his sentencing for December 16th. Scarsi said Hunter is facing a maximum sentence of 17 years in prison and up to $1.35 million in fines. Biden's lawyers originally announced that they would enter what's called an Alford plea, which would have meant he was pleading guilty to all counts but not admitting he had done anything wrong.
The Alford plea, you admit and acknowledge guilt, but also you maintain your innocence at the same time. It's
right. Prosecutors opposed that idea, and Judge Scarsi didn't seem on board with it either. So Biden's team entered a traditional guilty plea. Attorneys from the Office of Special Counsel David Weiss were planning to introduce over 24 witnesses, including Hunter's ex-wife and sister, Abby Lowell. Part of Biden's legal team told reporters outside the courtroom that Biden had pleaded guilty to protect his loved ones from what they called a show trial. That's good. Yeah. Plead guilt. Don't stay in there. Don't fight it tooth and nail.
Take your medicine.
Yeah.
Apparently, a lot of scurrilous details were going to come out if he didn't enter a guilty plea.
Scurrilous
details about drugs and hookers and you name it. Boning your dead brother's wife.
That's going to be part of tax evasion?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They were going to introduce all of that stuff was going to come out in court. You're still up. You're at the plate, dude.
No, Cucker just called in to agree with you. To agree with, yeah, that's not a big deal, dude. Move on. I think his rambling...
Yeah, he's not a very eloquent man, but there's something about there's got to be something about the way he presents himself to certain people that they just love him.
Well, who can be a supporter of his, listen to him get a question about legislation, then hear him talk about BS, and then they go, this is the man.
I've heard Kamala quotes where it sounds like she is just all over the map before. It's, it's not as damning. I mean, it's a lot worse that he tried to hold on to power after he'd been voted out. Let's focus on the things that really set these candidates apart. Kamala Harris never tried to inspire a mob to overthrow the results of
No,
an
I'm
election.
talking about mentality-wise, just cognizance. Like, he's a demented old man.
She's talking a lot differently than she did in 2019, 2020 when she was running for president.
What do you mean talking differently?
They're telling her, don't say so much. Don't crack yourself up. Don't laugh at things that aren't funny. You can tell
that's not a sign of cognitive ability decreasing. That's what sets them apart, is that he's like a crazy old man and she's not.
Yeah, she's not a fantastic communicator either, although she's much better than she was in 2019. I'll give her that.
Yeah, if you're working on it. Well, a Colorado man who calls himself Miracle Man is hiding cash around the Denver Boulder area to help.
I bet it's Mr. Beast.
That would be amazing. But no, it's not. He's trying to encourage people to get outdoors and have fun while searching for hidden money.
Oh, man, this is going to lead to people like tearing up books at the public library or digging through a cemetery or something. I've heard stories like this before.
Here he is talking. Just keep me potted up.
I really didn't want to do it one day. And my mom told me, you need to learn how to take joy in other people's happiness. So for me, it's not only fun to get people out and about, but I'm in a position where I can help people.
He posts clues on social media, bringing people together from all walks of life to take part in the adventure. He says the game is meant to foster community engagement and get people outside and active. He funds the entire project himself and recently hit $102 in Denver somewhere, with a winner finding the prize within minutes.
102?
Yeah.
Not 102,000.
No.
Just $102.
Yep.
Oh, we could do that promotion.
Yeah, we probably could.
We could probably afford that.
One player, Michael Ellis, who's won 2 prizes now, says he plans to use the money for some bills and groceries. Yep. Ellis says anybody who wants to play and win the game just needs to turn on social media notifications and immediately head out when a new post appears. Mm-hmm. Players send video proof when they find the cash, which Miracle Man reposts online so no one can waste time looking for money that's already been claimed. Right. As a special touch, each of the cash prizes includes a $2 bill, which Miracle Man says he's added for good luck. All right, yeah, let's finish.
Marky Ramone is here. He's going to be at Soldier Con this weekend. Soldier Con actually gets underway starting today and goes Saturday and Sunday, too.
The Daily Calendar. Hey, guys, it's September 6th. So much today. It's Egg Toss Day. Ow. Coffee Ice Cream Day. Brain Freeze. Read a Book Day. What's a book? Lazy Mom's Day. Chianti Day. And if you want to review the 401k, because it's 401k Day. All right. It's Food Bank Day. I think I make a withdrawal. And it's Fight Procrastination Day. I'm going to fight you later. No, as in fight against procrastinator. Tomorrow. And that's your daily calendar.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
See me at Vida's 901 North Mesa across from Walgreens, or visit vida-cbd.com.
Oh, guess who this is?
Buzz Adams and the KLAQ Morning Show.
You must be the greatest radio show host ever.
Buzz is back.
Well, I could not be more thrilled. I am tickled pink that Marky Ramone is in the studio with me. Hi, Marky.
Hi, how you doing?
Fantastic. Great to meet you. Love the Ramones, of course.
Thank you.
You weren't in the original lineup, but you joined before. You were in part of the band when I Want to Be Sedated came out, Rock and Roll High School, right?
That was my first single I did with them. And then I did the Rock and Roll High School movie, and I did 1,700 shows with the band.
Yeah.
Tommy was only in the group for 3 years. I was in the band for 15 years, and he gave me his drum set, and he produced Road to Ruin, and we remained friends until he passed away.
Yeah.
So, you know.
So you replaced Tommy.
Yeah, it was.
But it was amicable.
Oh, yeah. He came up to me and said, you know, I want to produce. So he said, here, play with the band. And I said, okay, let's have an audition. Well, not an audition, a rehearsal. So it all worked out, you know.
Marky's a drummer, of course. Boy, there's one instrument I just never could get a handle on at all. Like, I can strum anything and I can, do that, but drums are a whole different, it takes a different kind of animal to play drums, right? It is very physical. You're doing aerobics for 2 hours.
Hour and a half, and when I play it, it's like being an athlete.
Yeah.
So you got to take care of yourself.
Which is probably why you're in such fantastic shape. You look great, Marky.
I try.
Marky's going to be at Soldier Con, and he's going to be there for tonight and tomorrow night, but there is Sunday. And introduce yourself.
How's it going? My name is Matt Rothblatt.
Hey,
Matt Rothblatt.
Yep.
Co-creator of Spiral Mind.
Spiral Mind Comics, local comics, Tell us about Soldier Con, and you got a very, very loaded poster here. You got a lot of guests and a car show, and what else are we going to have there at Soldier Con?
It was started by veterans. I'm just kind of behind the scenes helping out. I'm, we've been doing Comic Cons for a while, as you know. You've seen us at Comic Cons all the time.
Absolutely.
So we made a lot of friends, a lot of connections, and Carlos Molina has been doing the Soldier Con, starting at Fort Bliss, and then at the Fort Bliss Golf Course, and then out of town in Tucson and Colorado Springs, and just something focusing pop culture toward the service members. And so we kind of helped him think outside the box and actually literally go outside the my phone's ringing. Sorry, guys.
It's on base, right?
Yeah, no, it's off base. It's at the Starlight Event Center. That's the thing about this.
Tell me where Starlight Event Center is.
So, Starlight Event Center is the Region 19 building that's across the street from the Marriott near the airport.
Okay.
And
all right,
the top floor. A lot of events happen there. A lot of ceremonies.
They do have events on base, but it's kind of a hassle to get onto a military base these days,
Exactly.
Marky.
Well, yeah, because everything that's going on.
Yeah, everything that's going on, you got to go through ID process.
Got to get double checked. You got to get this. It's
put it someplace where you easy in, easy out. How much does it cost for a ticket for a day?
So if you go to c4soldiercon.com, you can get all the details there, and buy your tickets early, so you don't have to stand in line and wait. You get your tickets already. For the service members, there's no charge. But they have to go online to see.
How about veterans?
Veterans, we're working on something for next year.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of veterans.
Sure,
we definitely are looking at sponsorships and trying to get something going for the veterans. There's a lot of veterans. Even the creators of this con are veterans. So I definitely want to make sure the veterans are covered. But there's plenty of stuff that veterans will love at this event. Car shows, it's a car show, Comic-Con, pop culture. At one point, we're going to put crypto in there, but that's kind of, we're too early for that thing.
Or late.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what do you know about this crypto, Marky?
I have no idea.
Yeah, me neither. It seems like fake money to me. I wouldn't put a lot of money into it. It is. It's an unknown is what it is, Marky.
I just want to say, all the veterans out there, you're not losers or suckers.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. No, that's El Paso's a military town. I'm here because of the military. My dad was stationed here a long time ago. So we want to make sure that they're not spending all their money in the parking lot trying to get into an event, But for everyone else, it's $20 today. What is it? 30 tomorrow and 25 on Sunday.
And when people come up and meet you, you can meet a member of one of the most legendary bands in history, Marky Ramone. What would they do? Take a picture?
They take a photo. They could bring their stuff there. I'll sign it. I have some merch that they might like,
Yeah.
And that's basically it. Just meeting your fans and friends,
Are you naturally an outgoing person who likes to talk to people a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a people person too.
I like to have a conversation, So
what's a typical day for you like these days? How's your 2024 going, Marky?
Go to the studio. I have a studio. I play by myself in the room, and I play the whole Ramones set that I do.
Yeah.
And then I come home, take a shower after that, then maybe hit a movie, go to a show, and I'll come back and watch another movie.
You seen anything good this year?
Movie wise?
Yeah, movie or show.
I like Murders in the Apartment or whatever it's called.
Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah,
that one with Steve Martin.
Great.
Yeah,
right.
Really?
Yeah,
I got to
like
try it again. I got to try it again. All right. What else you seen?
Godzilla -1. Have you seen that, Mark? I like your take on
I saw the Godzilla thing.
The Godzilla -1?
Well, he's in that 50s sci-fi, and
Yeah.
you're really into that.
It was. You got to stay with it.
Yeah.
You got to stay with it. I like the first one the best.
Yeah.
You know.
You like the OG.
What you're talking about the Godzilla movies from like
movies
from the 50s?
56, yeah.
Yeah.
With Raymond Burr. Ironsides.
I think they just clipped him into the movie. They took because it was a Japanese movie.
Yeah, there were
They
two.
just took Raymond Burr, who went on to play Perry Mason in
Right.
Ironside, and just kind of clipped him into the movie to make an American lead.
Yeah, exactly.
in the movie.
For America and one for Japan. They left that all Japanese. But that's my favorite Godzilla.
Yeah. Did you ever see Pacific Rim? That's a good one. You should check.
Is it a series or a movie?
It's a movie, but
Okay.
I think there's 3 of them already.
Oh, all right.
I got a call. Somebody called as soon as they heard that
I'll write
Marky
it
Ramone
down.
was going to be here. Yeah, Pacific Rim's a good one.
Yeah.
Giant robots fighting giant monsters.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Hey, Buzz, here's some Marky
That's what I'm
Ramone
looking for.
trivia for you. Before Marky was in the Ramones, he was in a band called Dust. I think he was only about 17 or 18 years old at the time. Fantastic band. They put out 2 albums, late 60s, early 70s, kind of psychedelic kind of stuff. And if you really want to listen to a crazy song sometime, listen to the song by Dust called From a Dry Camel. I think it'll blow your mind.
That is one of our regular callers, Tracy.
Right.
Did he get everything right there? Were you 17, 18 years old
Yeah,
when you were in Dust?
17 going on 18. We were one of the first heavy metal bands in America. And we
Not punk.
No, heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
We were in, punk wasn't around yet. So this is 71, 72. So I was just like a kid. And then we did a few tours, but we had to finish school. So
Is this you guys? Is that you on the left?
where's that?
Up there.
On the left.
That's you on the left, right?
Cover, Marky.
Oh, yeah, that's
The
it.
dust cover.
That's it, yeah.
Should I play From a Dry Camel?
To play Suicide.
Yeah?
I mean, if I don't know.
I'll do.
Well, that's
I'll
not
play
the
whatever
album
you
that's
recommend.
That's not. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that
Yeah,
album's
that's
not
a
up there.
different album.
That's a different album.
Yeah.
We actually have kids bring up Dust albums
Yeah,
and
Dust
Richard
albums and all that
Voivod
stuff.
And
Yeah, after reading Marky's book, I went out and looked for the Dust album on vinyl. So
Yeah.
Marky's got a book that came out a few years ago. He says number 3.
Number 3 punk book.
Yeah, it's awesome.
But the song "Suicide" is a positive song. It's not, it's not one of those songs that goes, "Oh, go kill yourself." It's a topic. So at that,
they don't have the other album.
They don't have the other album. I'm on Spotify, man. How's all that stuff? You feel like you're getting screwed out of money by the streaming and stuff?
no, I got bought out by a big conglomerate.
Yeah.
And this is a year ago. I sold I own my name, Marky Ramone, but I sold everything. So I don't, it doesn't affect me, this downloading stuff.
Yeah.
Because they deal with it.
They deal with it. That sounds like a real load off. You know?
I mean, look, if a musician can get his stuff on the thing that music streams, why not? He can get heard. It's a good way to get heard. I don't know what kind of money they make, but I'm sure it's not what it used to be.
You following all this talk, I hear everybody talking about AI. AI this. AI is going to replace musicians. It's going to replace songwriters. It might replace actors someday.
Right.
What do you think about all that?
Let's see where it goes. Let's see where it goes.
Right. We don't know what it's going to look like in a year.
I mean,
definitely not 5 years.
Right.
Yeah.
But it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I'm going to give it a chance and see what happens, But, look, say a band breaks up, and there's a lot of fans of that particular band, and they want to hear more material. So if it comes close to that group that they like, why not,
If the AI makes it and it sounds like a Ramone song, it could have been a Ramone song.
Right.
You don't have a problem with
I don't
that.
care.
Because you sold all your stuff.
I don't care. Nobody in the band's, going to say anything now.
Buzz, like, you're a big fan of the Beatles.
I love the Beatles.
Wouldn't you love to hear like a full Beatles album again or track with
there's something beautiful about the fact that we got what we got.
That's right.
There's something beautiful that existed. A band isn't great because they stay together forever.
Right.
A band is great because they're great, and I just like to leave what they've done. Now, they'll get something that John noodled with in the studio and put out a single or whatever. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I don't need a computer telling me what it thinks the Beatles might have sounded like if they stayed together.
No, I know what you mean, though, but it's good to have those options.
But the great thing about the Ramones is when they went out on the very last tour was Lollapalooza. They went out with the right bands at the right time and put the retirement out at one time and said, this is going to be this is it. You know what I mean? Come see us.
What year was that?
96. It was Soundgarden, Rage. There was a bunch of bands on. What else? Rancid.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of them.
We didn't want to be we wanted to stop at the right time. We didn't want to, be around and then there's only one original member in the group and they call it the band's name and then they get all these new guys, you never heard of them.
Or if 3 different members have 3 different bands.
You know what I mean? It's like we stopped at the right time.
Well, you're so important to so many people. The Ramones are so important to so many people that it's
punk rock.
Absolutely. There may not be a more honest, stripped-down form of music than punk rock.
Nothing. That's what we wanted to do.
I used to think, punk rock is for guys who like music but don't play that good. But I wouldn't say that about the Ramones, definitely.
No. Eddie Van Halen went up to Johnny Ramone. He said, I can't do that.
Yeah.
The downstrokes for an hour and a half at that speed.
Yeah.
Eddie was a great guitar player. But, these are compliments that we were getting.
Yeah. Yes. Over here? You had something?
I was to say, my favorite is when they'll bring Dee Dee's rap album up, and I'm always like, you had a rap album? And you're like, no, it was actually good. I actually liked it.
Yeah. I heard Dee Dee put out a rap album.
Yeah, it was quite entertaining.
Yeah.
I laugh when I hear it, but I understand. He just wanted to do something different, and that was it.
Well, it is such an honor to have you here, Marky.
Good to be here.
Just,
Thank you.
sitting around, kicking around with you and talking. Fantastic. And people should go out and see the great Marky Ramone.
What's your favorite Beatle album?
My favorite Beatle album is the White Album.
Song?
God, there's so many. I Got a Feeling. I really love that.
Yeah.
Don't Let Me Down.
Right.
God, if gun to my head, I could name 100 Beatles songs.
I love the song Nowhere Man and Help.
Nowhere Man and Help. God, what a fantastic... You must have been a kid when they were on Ed Sullivan on TV. And did you already love that kind of stuff at that point?
Ed Sullivan Show.
Yeah, right. They showed up, the girls screaming. You can hardly even hear the boys.
Unbelievable.
That must have had something to do with you wanting to be a rock and roller, right?
It was like good old Elvis. You know?
Yeah. You an Elvis fan?
Of course.
Yeah.
Definitely. Elvis is great.
Elvis is fantastic. There's so many artists that I just love.
Yeah, I love him.
The Ramones are one
Jerry
of them.
Lee Lewis, Little Richard, Chuck Berry, all the greats.
Yeah, you're that generation that you were born about the time rock and roll was kind of springing onto the scene. You're one of that generation. Now you're a classic rocker.
Thank you.
I was watching some YouTube videos where he was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, he's thanking all of his heroes, all of the folks that he just mentioned.
What's your favorite Beatles album?
Rubber Soul.
Rubber Soul's a great one.
Yeah, Rubber Soul.
That was kind of before they started doing harpsichords and orchestras. They were still kind of like a Hamburg rock band.
Yeah, and they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Right?
Have you met many of the Beatles?
No, I didn't have that opportunity.
You never met Paul?
No.
Now it's just Paul and Ringo left.
We took the name Paul Ramone when he used to tour with the Beatles, and my bass player called the band the Ramones.
Paul would sign into hotels under
Paul
Ramone.
Yeah.
And that's where the Ramones got their name from.
He wrote a song for us on the Rock and Roll High School soundtrack. So,
and you never met the man?
Never met him. You have to be at the right place at the right time. People are there, some people somewhere else. You gotta,
I could get 2 people on the phone today and set up a meet and greet with Ringo Starr by the end of the week.
Let's do a SoldierCon 25. Let's do it.
No, I can't do that. Of course not. It's Ringo freaking Starr. It would be great, yeah. Well, thank you, Marky Ramone, for dropping by. Thanks for doing this for the soldiers this weekend at SoldierCon.
Sure.
Come by, see Marky. If you got something with Ramones on it, you'll sign it for the people, right?
Definitely.
Well, it is a real pleasure. Again, I just want to stress what a great thing it is to talk to you, Mark.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming by.
All right,
see you there.
See you there.
Hi, it's Chuck, and tonight at 11 on Loudwire Night.
Ride Drive. Let on as smooth as that first quiet morning coffee. Ride Drive, the only way to drive.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Well, get ready for minor football at the Sun Bowl on Saturday. They are going to be taking on Southwest Utah Polytechnic, some Southern Utah, I think. So we're going to go to the pregame at 6 o'clock on KLAQ. Miners from the Sun Bowl. This is the home opener. And our friends Justin and Gabe from Dead Beach Brewery are here. Hey, guys. Great to see you.
Hey. Hey, how's it going? Good morning,
Fantastic. You brought some beer by. I have a shelf in my pantry, and it's all the El Paso products that I have left unopened and untouched. So I'm going to put that one up there by my Don Haskins Glory Road Wheaties.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Veronica.
Hi.
I got the Aaron Jones cereal that they put out. I've got a Metallica beer, so all the different things go.
You got to have the minor beer.
So I need one for drinking and one for displaying.
So I'm going to bring you some more for sure.
Well, what do you guys have going on this weekend?
So we're really excited. So as you know, we've been around for quite a while, 9 years in November.
9 years.
This year, today, actually, we are debuting Minor Brew, which is the official craft beer of the UTEP Miners. Never been done before. This is history in the making. We got approval from the Texas Regents and all sorts of people to be, the official craft beer of the UTEP Miners. And of course, Gabe Jason, super excited to have it. So.
That sounds like you'd have to go through a bunch of hoops to become the official licensed beer. Yeah,
a lot of hoops.
Working it out.
Are you promoting drinking for college kids? What?
Some college kids are 22, 21.
Yes.
Yeah. This is beer for minors.
For minors.
No, I mean minor fans.
Actually, what we're doing is we're promoting purchasing this product because a portion of the proceeds goes to UTEP. So this will help UTEP.
All right. I want Gabe to describe this brew, and I want you to use the most beer snob terms you can use.
Okay, well, this classic chalice comes in 12 ounces. This is a beautiful blonde ale here for El Paso. So blonde ale, it's going to be very clean, very crisp, very mildly hopped blonde ale. So it comes in at a 4.1%, and really it's supposed to be just crushable. We're supposed to be able to have like 10 or 12 of these just at the game, take a couple of 6-packs at home, all that good stuff. Perfect breakfast beer. It's delicious.
I have been drinking a lot of one of your beers that they have at Albertsons.
Oh, excellent. Which one?
Okay.
It's reddish and it's
Bonnie. Mm-hmm.
It's
what is
like
it?
a darker red or like an orange red?
An orange red.
Okay, so it's going to be the Chihuahua Hef.
That's what it is.
Yeah, so
the
we're really...
Chihuahua Hef is really, really a great backyard drinkable beer, man.
Buzz, you have come a long way. I'm so proud of you.
I know. I was just like, as long as it's wet and cold, I'll drink it. But yeah, they have
That's so cool. I
they
love
have
it.
that on the in the aisle at Albertsons, and I said I like the color of the can. I'm going to give it a try. Did you open? This is my collectible.
I'm going to bring you guys some more. Calm down. I'll bring I'll bring a
good.
case, and you can put them all over the place and tell everybody how cool it is. No, but we're really excited. We've had so much going on. These past few years at Albertsons, as you mentioned, a whole bunch of grocery stores. We're making our way out to East Texas.
That's a good. By the way, the minor beer, really, really
yes,
good.
That's awesome. We had Glenn stop by yesterday as well, and he told us like, "Hey, I'm a Coors drinker, and I'm not. I never deviate from this. This is something I could totally drink all day long." So we're excited. We want everybody to try it for sure.
Okay, where are these going to be found?
They're going to be found initially at the tavern. So we are going to launch them today. And actually, let me check the time.
The tavern?
At our tavern. 3200 Durazno Avenue. So that's our new location.
That's not downtown anymore.
Not anymore. It's in South Central. We are 10 minutes away from actually starting to sell this beer on site. So we've had people coming by trying to get it, and we are waiting for today. So at 9 o'clock when we open, we'll have those available in cases, singles or 6-packs. But it will also be at Minor Palooza tonight.
Okay.
They're going to be selling it, and we're going to be hosting tastings so people can get to know it and be familiar with it. We're also going to have tastings tomorrow at the UTEP games, and UTEP Athletics are going to have it at the games throughout the entire season. Football, basketball, soccer, volleyball. It's a UTEP beer,
They're going to
man.
make it in stores in El Paso? You're going to make enough to put them in like Albertsons and places?
Eventually we'll get there. Right now, we're really trying to just promote UTEP. This is the opening games, the opening everything. We just want to make a big splash before we give it to quite everybody.
Yeah, we are going to have some parties tomorrow. We have some partners of ours that picked up the beer. So Border City Ale House, we have Craft Box in Northeast, but of course we're also going to be in the UTEP area. So Hope and Anchor, thanks of course for supporting us. They'll have some the Palomino, Good Times. So we're going to be at some different areas around town in case you can't make it out to the game. But come and find us at the game. There's nothing like supporting local. We're always, of course, pushing drink local, but that also means it's eat local. And of course, our university is local. We can't stress enough the proceeds of this beer, everything that is made off of it stays here in El Paso. So we want to make sure that everybody knows that.
I have to ask everybody here a question. Any of you guys Ramones fans?
Oh, huge. Absolutely.
Did you see Marky Ramone?
Sure did.
I mean, what? That just blows your mind, right? Marky Ramone was out waiting for me. Can you imagine that? How many people can say
amazing?
Marky Ramone was waiting for me?
Legend.
You've got the Dead Beach Skull.
Yes.
I got a fun challenge.
Okay.
Joanna, Veronica, and I all get that tattooed somewhere.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We'll do it if you
I
beat
have
me
zero
to
tattoos, Gabe.
Wow.
0 tattoos.
That would be your first tattoo.
I don't have any tattoos either.
Yeah. Would you, you work for the company. You kind of have to now. We'll try. Yeah, get this minor beer. I can see a lot of people buying them and like, I'm going to save it as a collector's item.
Yes.
Save one for a collector's item. Drink the rest because it's really good. Thank you guys for dropping by. Great to see
Thanks so
Dead
much
Beach
for
in the
having us.
studio
Thank
with
you.
us.
Nice to
And we'll
see
see you
you.
out Minor Palooza's Tonight.
Yes.
KLAQ will be there,
Oh, awesome.
and Dead
We'll
Beach
stop
will
by.
be there.
Yeah.
And then the game is tomorrow.
Yes. So
All
come
right.
by.
Thanks, guys, for dropping by.
Thanks, Buzz. you.
Thanks for having us.
Find out what's going on. Quirky facts about our region. Urgent things you need to know impacting your drive. And of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock.
Yeah. Shoot to Thrill and AC/DC 95.5 KLAQ. I think Joanna appreciates what a momentous occasion it was to visit with Marky Ramone.
I
from
can't
the
believe
Ramones.
he was in the studio.
I don't think Nico fully gets the full weight of having somebody like Marky Ramone on the show and in the studio.
He's like a singer, right, or musician.
He's a goddamn it. You know what? It's just insulting. It's insulting to rock fans. We are a rock station.
Whatever. We all knew no information about some rock stuff yesterday. Okay, I question all of your.
Not when I was here.
Yeah, like yesterday, we were all having trouble thinking of something. It's not like you're an expert at every rock
What were we
thing.
having trouble with?
I don't remember. We were trying to think of something.
No, but I've worked at rock stations now for 35 years almost.
Yeah.
32 at KLAQ, but I had worked at a
So you're not a real fan of rock. You're a fan through osmosis of the job.
That was my introduction to rock, was working on a rock station. Oh, man, I was petrified. I worked at KMOD in Tulsa, which is the station. The two guys that I worked with had the Roy D. Mercer character. You know, how big old boy are you?
Was that the same radio station that woman who's an actress?
Jeannie Triplehorn.
Yeah.
Jeannie Triplehorn.
Was that the one she was at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
She was Jeannie Summers then, but yeah. Yeah, I worked with Jeannie Triplehorn.
Oh, really?
But I got hired because they liked, I guess, my voice. And I told the boss, I don't know that much about rock because, you know, I was in church. They made us go to these things where they talk about, they were putting satanic messages backwards on records and stuff. And I was fed a steady diet of that.
Sweet.
And the program director said, you'll pick it up. Well, the first shift I work is midnight to 6, and I go in and I'm looking for the music log. And then I can't find one, so I call the boss, and he goes, oh, yeah, we're freeform midnight to 6.
So you get to pick the
So
song.
You get to pick the music.
Pick whatever?
Yes.
That's
and I was
cool.
like, I just told you I doubt my bona fides when it comes to rock music.
What did you do?
I found the log from earlier in the day and just went back, played songs off of that. But you had to, okay, so we had gone mostly to CDs by then.
Oh.
But there were still some albums. Yeah. So you'd have to go out and pick a CD for every song you're going to play, or an album, put it back in. It was a lot more labor intensive, Joanna. We weren't molly coddled like you kids do there. God bless the Ramones.
So when I Wikipedia the Ramones, there was so much that I wanted to then ask Marky about, like, what was the relationship with Joey and Johnny like? Mm-hmm. And then I guess, why did you have problems with Johnny or Joey? I think he had some issues with one of them.
Anytime you're in a band and you're performing with these guys and you're with them all the time, you're going to get on each other's nerves every now and then. It's not. It would be surprising if a band totally got together, got along. That would be a surprising thing.
I think the Beatles famously got along all the time.
They did not. they certainly didn't. I've got a few calls off the neckline.
Yep, go for it.
Steve's going to come in, and we're going to talk sports. Well, Steve is here already.
Oh.
Steve, I just started to get into some calls, okay?
Hey, sounds good. Welcome back. How was your colonoscopy?
I didn't have a colonoscopy. That is a rumor that took on a life of its own.
It was an EKG and blood work he had to fast for.
You missed for that?
Well, I did have to fast. So.
Well, I knew you'd have to fast, especially for the blood work. But I mean, we all thought it was a colonoscopy.
No. That's still down the
rumor
road.
I started.
I haven't even made the appointment for the colonoscopy.
Somebody called in. I was like, so Buzz is gone, so they're probably 3 knuckles deep right now.
That's right.
I won't mention who this
3
was.
knuckles.
But there was somebody at the radio station who actually asked the question of, for a colonoscopy, do they go in through your penis?
Oh my!
Was that Alberto?
And was his name Alberto?
Dude, tell me that wasn't Alberto.
I feel like that's something Alberto would have said.
Hey, bro, do they go through your penis?
I can't comment on who that
Hey,
is.
Mojo Edgar here. What's going on with the commercials for the morning show? First, we got to hear about the lady with the disgusting butt deodorant. Now we got to hear about toe fungus. I'm sure there's plenty of businesses in El Paso that could do a lot better. Thanks, guys.
Oh, man. You want me to talk about some of the commercials that we air?
get some
Those are all
questionable
packaged.
Nationally.
It's a national package, and we run them. They're the same spots they run on XM Sirius.
Remember the one
Podcast. You'll hear them in people's podcasts all the time.
Right. Remember the one that you would complain about where it's like, my number 2 doesn't look like a number 2.
My number 2 doesn't look like a number 2. Is there a number 3?
Buzz would put it in his notes, and
I put it in the notes.
In the meeting.
We
got to get rid of this commercial.
Boy, you want to listen to some shady advertisements. XM Sirius, on the stations that play commercials. They've got one for California psychics, and they're like, our psychics are 50% more accurate than the other psychics.
Who did the study?
Everything on Sirius XM is how to cancel your timeshare.
Right.
We have one of those, I think.
We have one of those. How to get out of trouble with the IRS.
And how to buy a reverse mortgage from
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Yeah.
Do you guys ever play the commercials for Navage?
What's
Navage? It's that thing that squirts in your nose, right? It's like a.
Oh yeah, we used to play Navage on Carity, literally every hour.
Did, yeah.
But the one is like, it gets your pits, your bits, and your beehole.
That's the Lumi. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Lumi. That's right. I've heard that one. I've heard that one too.
Yeah, I don't know. I would draw the line at the California psychics. I mean, you're basically insulting your listeners' intelligence at that point, right?
Right.
I wonder how much money they're paying.
Your psychics are better than
50% better. Like they give a statistic.
A statistic of how much better they are.
By the way, nobody beats Grace, the psychic lady. I'm just going to say that right now. Grace, who was a regular on this radio show for so many years, still my all-time favorite psychic.
Miss Cleo.
Oh no, Grace, the psychic lady was much better.
Yeah. I wonder how many of your listeners remember her, because she probably has not been on this radio show in at least 20 years.
Do you have another neckline call?
I had plenty. I just want to see what. Okay, here's one. Is wrestler guy. By the way, it's wrestler as in he wrestles, not the street wrestler, because we got a 5 Points guy.
Oh yeah, you thought this was like wrestler.
Somebody thought that he was wrestler guy.
I see.
And we got a Mesa guy and a Montana girl.
And we have a Dyer guy.
If we could just get a Dyer one, complete it.
It's like Pokemon.
Andy Dyer. Oh, that's Dwyer, right?
That was Dwyer. Yeah.
You were close.
I started a series. I did the first one this week. How the different streets of El Paso got their name. Who's Donovan? What is that a guy? Who's the red on Red Road?
Yeah. Who's Lee Trevino?
That's the one everybody knows.
Wait, you're actually researching these streets?
Yes.
Really?
I have my very first article about this is up on Saul Kleinfeld.
Oh, nice.
Do you know who Saul Kleinfeld was?
I do remember Saul Kleinfeld. Yeah, because he was around.
He was around. You must have been a little kid, though.
No. So here's the deal. I'll tell you what Saul Kleinfeld is. So I was doing some research on Andy Cohen, whose daughter works for us, and I was given these old photos of Andy and his brother Sid, and Saul Kleinfeld was a big friend of theirs. So there were these photos of them from like the 70s and 80s in El Paso.
There were only 3 Jews in El Paso.
Yeah.
No.
That's so terrible.
Has there been a large Jewish population in El Paso?
There's been a large Jewish population. There's been a large Middle Eastern population. A lot of Syrians.
Not as many.
And some of the names that are some of the most famous names in town.
Not nearly as many Jewish people now as there was 30 or 40 years ago, but yes, in fact, there's a street. People think that it's named after me. No, it's not Kapilowitz. It's Kaplowitz. So
is there a Kaplowitz Street?
No, there's a Kapilowitz Street. There was a very well-known individual here, I guess, in the 70s or 60s, and so it called Kapilowitz, and they named a street after them. And people are like, "Hey, I saw your street." And I go, "No, it's not mine, but thank you for that." There's an I in that name.
So there are some neighborhoods that are Cooperstown in the Northeast they're all baseball players.
Yeah.
That's right, and just like golf,
there's golf. There's no golf course there anymore.
And there's also
the hills, but all the streets are named after golfers. There's Barber,
Rich
Beam.
Yep, and there's also a 66 area where all the 66 miners have streets named after
all
them.
of them.
That's cool.
Pretty much, yeah. There's an area where every street,
Togo.
I think Togo Raleigh is. I think if you search Togo Raleigh Street or Togo Raleigh Drive in El Paso, you'll find one. Yeah.
He didn't even get into that.
No,
listen,
but he
credit
played.
where credit is due.
Yes.
Of course.
Buzz, Terry in our fan chat says the California Psychic commercials play on the app.
Oh, God.
Okay, so let me explain how this works too for your listeners.
Thank
okay,
you.
Jesus.
We have.
Yeah, but we've got to have the ability to turn down ads.
Buzz is going to put that down in his notes.
We don't have the ability.
No, we have.
If the Nazi Party of America wanted to buy ads on KLAQ, we wouldn't have some way to tell them no.
I would hope that corporate would put a stop to that.
Kaplowitz would not be their AE.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I don't need sales that much. But the fact is, there are separate commercials on the app and the stream versus the radio. So when you listen to breaks, you'll hear totally different commercials. And sometimes our corporate national team sells these. So if you don't hear the local spots and you hear the national stuff, you'll realize that's sold from the ownership group out of New York.
God, I hate that. Saul Kleinfeld was moved to El Paso from New Jersey. He'd been a high school athlete.
Mm-hmm.
The story goes that he and his wife were actually moving to California, but they stopped in El Paso overnight, and they had a steak dinner in Juarez for, let me see how much it was, 35 cents.
And that sold them.
They said, forget California.
Yeah.
We're going to settle down in El Paso. That's the original Saul Kleinfeld. Born in 1910, he was a humanitarian who did a lot of work in El Paso on behalf of needy children. He promoted sports for underprivileged kids. Yeah. He was named Citizen of the Year in El Paso in 1969. Saul Kleinfeld passed away in 1998.
Wow.
I got this article up, but I think every week I'm going to look at a different... I'm going to find out who this wrestler guy is, too.
And by the way, while you're at it, go do a little research on Montana. Because I want to know if there was ever a Montana who lived in El Paso, or if that is just the state Montana.
I think it's
just
Spanish
named after
mountain.
Yeah, it's Spanish for mountain. But we also have a Texas street. We have a Nevada street. We have
we do. We have Arizona.
Yeah,
that's right.
So it's probably not named after a guy named Montana.
You never know, but you could be right.
Oh, it's Jackie Montana, of course.
Well, it's like Mesa, same thing. Wasn't named after
Mesa.
Wasn't named after Ray Mesa.
You had a neckline call I wanted to.
Well, I was about to play wrestler guy. That's how we got started.
Sorry, yeah, I forgot that and then you were saying.
What's up, morning show? How you guys doing? It's wrestler guy. So my question for you guys is, what is your take on the whole Lincoln Park thing? Oh. They released a video yesterday on YouTube, like about an hour and some change long, and that's when they revealed their new singer. I can't remember her name for the life of me, but
Emily Armstrong.
She seems like she's going to be doing pretty well. I remember a few years back, you guys were doing a contest to call in for Linkin Park to win the Hunting Party album, and then you get your name into a drawing to go to LA to see them for free. I had won both, and that was super cool to see Linkin Park live. Never seen them live before until then. It was really cool. And the next day, my dad and I are at LAX, and I'm at a kiosk charging my phone. And behind me, I hear this monotone voice. It's like, "Hey, man, I really like your shirt." I turn around, and it's freaking Chester Bennington. There. I got a chance to meet him. How cool is that? But anyway, I think they're going to go pretty well with this new singer. So, let's see what she's got. Let's see what she can do. All right, you guys, enjoy the rest of the show and have a great weekend. Love y'all.
Emily Armstrong was in a band called Dead Sarah. And when they were first on the scene, they were at South by Southwest. They came by I don't know if you were on that trip or not, Steve, but
I was never on. I was never. Well, let me think.
You went to one of them at
South by
least.
Southwest.
Yeah,
not with you. No,
really.
Only when I was at Austin, I was able to go to those. So no, never saw one. I was never fortunate enough to go on that trip with you. I did New Orleans and Mardi Gras, where I was hammered for pretty much 2 or 3 days in a row.
The famous.
Oh yes, and that is all true. And then I also did with you. What other trip? Vegas. You would come.
Padre.
You would. Yeah, Padre was fun. Padre was fun.
Jamaica.
You said New Orleans, right?
I did.
Oh yeah, New Orleans was epic.
It was
There are
unbelievable.
1,000 stories from that trip.
Yep, and I'll say this: they're all probably true. Yes.
So here is their first new single with new, and it says co-lead singer. So I guess they're gonna be more than one lead singer.
Mike also sings.
Was that how they were credited when Chester was on the?
Yeah.
I always thought of Chester
singing, and Mike was always the one like rapping.
Right. No, I knew, but I didn't know if they were credited as co-lead singers.
Okay, so
one of the few bands I actually know. So
Emily Armstrong from Dead Sarah is the co-lead singer of Linkin Park now.
Let you cut me open just to watch me burn. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm open for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
I'm going to predict
Amazing.
they have more hits with Sarah Armstrong. You know, Emily. Excuse me, Emily Armstrong.
Who's Sarah Armstrong?
Because she was in the band Dead Sarah.
That's right.
I was probably thinking of Dead Sarah. Yeah, Emily Armstrong, I think, is going to be a perfect match from what I hear there. That's a really great sound that they got.
They
going.
did a pretty good set list yesterday. Do you want to hear some from the concert from yesterday?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's her.
That's her.
That was her?
That's Points of Authority, right?
One step closer.
One step closer. Sorry.
One step closer.
I'm sorry.
It's the most famous Linkin Park song, probably.
At one point, so I've been watching this all morning long because it's like about an hour long. And at one point, like the audience is just so loud and she just lets them sing along.
Oh, that's cool.
The new album is From Zero. It comes out November the 14th. They're going to play major venues in L.A. and New York City in the next couple of weeks. This is the first time Linkin Park has been out as a band since 2017, the year that Chester passed away. Well, Joanna, what do you think?
I think she sounds great.
Right. I thought that single that they did, I thought it was really, really
And a lot of the reception
fit.
has been very positive. I think a lot of people are like, you can't really replace Chester.
Yeah, I'm rooting for
but
him, though.
she is doing such good justice covering these songs.
Well, it's also about the content of the songs and like the way they sound. Like the song that she was singing sounded like it could have been
a Linkin Park.
really got,
Well,
like-
it's still the band is still
exactly.
Linkin
So
Park.
it's not a new band. It's not a different band. It's still essentially the same.
So, do you want to know how Dead Sarah, Emily Armstrong's band, got their name? She told us.
Did they murder a girl named Sarah?
No, they told us this when they came by for South by Southwest. You know the song Sarah? Sarah.
You talking about the one? You're talking about the one by Fleetwood Mac?
Yeah, the one by Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
So that song is supposedly a song to Stevie Nicks' baby that she got pregnant with by Don Henley, and she aborted the baby. So the Dead Sarah from the band Dead Sarah is the dead baby that's in the Fleetwood Mac song Sarah.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that she named her dead baby Sarah?
Yes, that's what I was told by members of Dead Sarah, including Emily Armstrong.
Interesting.
Yeah.
By the way, Daniel Paulus will have an article later today on KLAQ.com.
It's already up.
Oh, good. Happy to hear
is
it.
up.
He was so excited. He was working on it yesterday, and he was telling me all about it. So that's good that he's got that story up. Because a lot of El Paso connections with Emily, and he's written all about it.
All right. So real quick, we'll come back and we're going to talk sports.
Sports.
We got time to do that when we come back, Steve?
I've been here since 7:45. You better believe it.
Did you meet Marky Ramone?
I did. I actually taped an interview with him that's going to run during Sports Talk today.
Are you talking sports with Marky Ramone?
A little.
Did you like his Brooklyn accent?
Well, it's so funny because we were talking about New York, and he just bought a house in Italy because New York's not what it was, and it's for him. He's just
New York's not what it was in my book. In a good way.
That's what I mean. Are you saying in a good way, meaning that it's better now than it was?
Yeah, you could.
Well, no, he's talking about all the crime that there's a lot of things that are happening now on the subways, on the streets.
The first time I went to New York City was like 1987, and let me tell you, it was like a dystopian nightmare.
Yeah.
Everything was dirty.
Not the good old days.
I know.
The big porno place in Times Square.
Yeah, and then
you
also
won't see a porno. They might be there, but you don't see them.
No.
I'm telling you, I hate to say this, Giuliani really cleaned that place up.
Maybe Marky Ramone is talking because he's from Brooklyn, and I've heard that Brooklyn has kind of turned into like a hipster, gentrified area, and it's not the same.
It has. It's completely different, than it used to be. That is true.
Is that where your family's from?
Originally Brooklyn, both mom and dad. Yeah, they were both born in Brooklyn. That's right.
What's with can you do the Brooklyn accent still, Steve?
Well, here's the deal. When I get back to New York and I start talking to people that are either family or people that I know, it starts to work its way back in.
Oh, you're a poser like Kamala Harris.
Yes, just like Kamala. Yes, that's right.
Can you tell a Brooklyn accent from a Bronx accent? Because they are different.
They are.
Really?
A little bit.
Yeah. Good question. That's interesting. And there's Queens, the Queens accent.
Queens has an accent.
You know who was born in Queens, who grew up there, was Christopher Kid Reed.
Oh, yeah.
So, he's from Queens. So it is interesting when you start to talk to them. But no, to me, New York is New York.
Brooklyn.
So yesterday, Vladimir Putin, in an interview, said that he's supporting one of the candidates in the race for president. The Russian leader says that his support is with Kamala Harris. And he starts talking about how tough Trump has been on Russia and how Trump is, he cannot, the master chessman, Vladimir Putin, the master strategist, he cannot keep a straight face in this interview. Right. He's talking about how tough Donald Trump is on him, and he would rather Kamala be the president. And he cannot keep a straight face as he's doing.
I'm surprised you haven't talked about this recently. Just on Wednesday, the Justice Department revealed an indictment accusing Russia of a scheme to pay right-wing influencers.
I did talk about that yesterday.
To spread. So did you talk about all the, like Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, David Rubin, they're all funded by Tenet Media.
These people were getting paid by Tenet Media, which is controlled by the Russians.
Yes.
Yeah. They were paying out to some of these mostly right-wing influencers. They were paying out $1 million or more.
Like grossly overpaying.
Right.
For content they were going to put up anyways.
Yeah, but they were also able to get them to listen. They all ended up being coincidentally pro-Russian pieces that they would do. I got to think somewhere in there, Tucker Carlson's going to be on that list. I mean, he was so obsequious when he interviewed Putin. After the interview, Putin even said, "That was a crappy interview. He didn't ask me any tough questions at all."
Well, Tucker Carlson's getting dragged because he had an interview with somebody, his name's Daryl Cooper, who is, he described as the best, most honest, popular historian. But
he's a Nazi apologist.
He's a Nazi apologist. Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hi, folks. Thanks for coming. And I, Kamala Harris, want to thank Vladimir Putin, for his support. And, support is good. It's when somebody likes you, right? And I like being liked. But Russia is a country, and it's a big country. And the people who live there are Russian. And, sometimes I'm Russian, as in, rushing out the door to get to work. I rush in other places. And sometimes I'm rushing to the kitchen if I have something in the oven that's burning.
2 hours later.
And Putin, his name is Putin, by the way. But, Putin also sounds like pudding. It's a delicious treat. Pudding pops, those were good. Now I'm in the mood for a pudding pop. Thanks, Putin. No more questions.
We nailed it with the voice for Kamala Harris. We have really nailed that one.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
Cystic fibrosis. Hands of respect to Golden Family. Visit SoldierCon on Facebook, Instagram, or c4soldiercon.com for more info and ticket information.
You are about to participate in a great adventure. The KLAQ Morning Show with Buzz Adams is back. Only on 95.5 KLAQ El Paso.
Kaplowitz.
I'm a big, stupid jerk. I'm a pain in your ass. I drink all your beer. I'll eat the last slice. I always need a ride. Nobody likes me. My name's Steve. Mother trucker.
Kaplowitz.
Steve Kaplowitz joins us from our partner station, 600 ESPN El Paso. Q Sports Shorts with Buzz and Cappy, brought to you by the Viva Auto Group. Viva Auto makes it happen. Cappy, let's talk about last night's game.
What a game.
That might be the most exciting game of the season. I mean, it is now, but at the end of the season, that might be like the most exciting ending to a football game all season.
It was fascinating.
Wow.
That last play where an inch decides whether or not Baltimore wins that game.
What do you think about Baltimore lining up like they're going for two? So Baltimore thought they had scored a touchdown, a brilliant reception in the end zone, and they could tie with a field goal or they could win with a 2-point conversion. They were lined up for the 2-point conversion when this. Well, we're going to hear the reception for touchdown, and then listen for the overturn.
Down to one play, 5 seconds to go. Lamar trying to make magic happen, throw it end zone. Likely 2 feet down. Yes, touchdown! What a play! Going for 2 and the win are the Ravens on opening night.
The runner's toe hit out of bounds. It's an incomplete pass. The game is over. Kansas City has won.
27-20. The Chiefs win on opening night by a toe.
That's right.
Toe.
It literally was by a toe. In fact, it's so interesting about how this play decided the game. I don't know if you saw this or not, but take a look at that, Nico. That's the toe we're talking about right there from Isaiah Likely. So do you see how it barely touches the white?
So I have a good, interesting question about this.
So I have two down.
That white that you're talking about is maybe about 4 inches across, 5 inches.
Mm-hmm.
To be a valid touchdown, does it have to be over the white, like past that 5 inches?
It can't touch that white. It has to be.
You can't touch that white.
That's the far out of bounds line. So that's what happened.
You can't even touch that white.
He has to stay in the green, and he just nicks his toe just
barely. I mean, it looks like it's an inch in or less.
Yes. In fact, Buzz, I'm sure you've seen this already, but take a look at how close that was for being a touchdown. Take a look at that. That's that was his toe.
Did the Chiefs throw a challenge flag, or did they?
Well, the Chiefs won. I mean, and the Ravens as soon as they put up on the scoreboard.
No, I mean the video to
board.
Challenge the.
No. What happens is this, okay? On the last play of the game like that, under 2 minutes, every big play gets reviewed.
Gets reviewed on that.
And that's why. Because John Harbaugh, the head coach of the Ravens, was ready to go for 2. He already signaled the 2 fingers. And just when they were getting ready to line up, that's when they started looking at that catch a little more close. And then once it went on the video board and everybody in Kansas City saw, they knew that the play was going to get reversed, which is what happened.
Sometimes it's an old saying. Sometimes it is a game of inches
or inch,
or inch singular.
Hey guys, good morning. Last night's game that was an awesome game, only by a toe. But of course, NBC showing Taylor Swift just about the same as the game itself. Which for me, I don't care. It's they got to do what they got to do. But a lot of people get their feathers ruffled over, showing too much Taylor, if anything. People are going to say, and I know Buzz is going to have a field day for this because of that caller over a month ago that really made Buzz angry. So flabbergasted. I've never heard Buzz like that.
it's those two words that are forbidden to him. People are going to say it's mainstream media. But for me, I don't care. They show Taylor Swift. Doesn't affect me. So, yeah, mainstream media. Oh, it burns. Ow. All right.
They have been very active the NFL has been very active in this Taylor and Travis Kelce. Have you heard about what it could be a fake document, but it's supposedly a leaked document that shows the contract and when Taylor and Travis are going to break up?
Really?
Yes. Do you want to hear about it?
Yes, I do.
The Daily Mail. So
very, very credible.
Right. It's a tabloid out of London. The Daily Mail leaked pictures of what might be a fake contract, which details the breakup between Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. How it will be announced, how it will be managed, what the statements from the two will be. It says the announcement will be, quote, gracious, respectful, and stress mutual respect. It will also state, if this is a real document, it will also state that Taylor and Travis are, quote, both committed to their careers and personal growth. They remain friends and wish each other the best. They haven't broken up.
Please, she went yesterday in a golf cart to the game and was right there where she's always been.
Do you think she's the secret to their success?
No, Patrick Mahomes is the secret to their success.
Of course he's the secret to their success. That's right. Although I'll say this. Did you watch yesterday and see Kansas City's new secret weapon?
Harrison Butker?
First off, that would be Harrison Butker, and the answer to that one is no. I'm not talking
Harrison
about
Butker.
Although he could be the best kicker right now in the game. Butker was terrific yesterday.
Better than Aubrey?
Yeah. Butker's good. But no, I'm talking about, listen to this, Isaiah Worthy, the former Texas Longhorn who had that fast run to start, and then he had another touchdown catch later in the game. Yeah. He has super speed. He ran a 4.240 in the combine, and it's like Patrick Mahomes' new shiny toy.
Really?
Yes.
Well, he's going to still have to throw some to Travis if they want to get maximum Taylor Swift footage.
Well, you know what's going to be interesting is all the games she's not going to be out. I want to see how well they play.
Last year, Kansas City had no trouble when Taylor was out.
So this document was supposedly drawn up by a PR firm in Los Angeles called Full Scope. TMZ reached out to Full Scope, and they denied anything. They also said they're threatening to get their lawyers involved. That sounds to me, see?
Interesting.
You're threatening to get your lawyers involved.
Why would you even get your lawyers involved if it's not real?
If it's not real.
Well, because they probably used a real contract from the company, which I don't think would be hard to find online. And then if you alter that to make it look like it's
AI?
real or AI, the company would say, I don't want that around. That's my stuff.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. You know why the NFL is happy? Because they realize that the game in the last year plus has now seen all these new Swifties start to watch football because of Taylor Swift, which is great for them because they're opening up to a whole new audience. So the NFL loves this relationship.
They just can't shake it off.
Hey.
Very nice.
So Philadelphia is hosting the game tonight
in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Thank you.
And I don't know how they get the home field advantage there.
That's a neutral site.
Who are they playing?
They're playing the Packers.
Oh, the Packers.
Packers are going to have this. Have you heard what's going on, by the way, for this? The Packers are staying at a hotel that apparently with traffic, it will be a 90 to 2 hour commute to the stadium before the game. That's how long it's going to take them to get from the bus
Sao
to the
Paulo
game.
has
like the worst traffic in the world.
Well, it has the. I read this the other day. One of the guys I played basketball with in college was from Sao Paulo.
Really? All right.
The biggest concentration of human beings.
More than Mexico City.
More than Mexico City.
Okay.
I heard. Sao Paulo, Brazil. So they probably
could be.
They probably had to stay so far away.
How about this? Apparently, both teams tonight will not be wearing green because that is the
Brazil
chief rival of Brazil in the stadium they're going to play, and they're afraid for the safety of the players to show up wearing the colors of their rivals. So both teams are going to wear non-green colors, so that way it does not portray the rival of Brazil.
I'm glad that the NFL is doing exhibitions in other countries to make.
This is a real game. This is not an exhibition.
This is not an exhibition.
This is a regular season
game.
game.
Started, dude.
Oh yeah,
and it's just to make it popular in other countries, or
yes,
kind of
that's
showcase it.
You nailed it. The NFL wants to be global, and this is their idea of playing in Brazil.
Why don't they play a Brazilian football team?
Because none of them would survive. Then the Miners play on Saturday tomorrow.
Big night, 7 o'clock right here on 95.5
Well,
KLAQ.
6 o'clock with the pregame.
That's right. Kicks off at 7. 6 o'clock pregame. John Teicher, Cole Freitag, Mondo the Monster Medina. This is Southern Utah. This is the home opener. This is, of the 5 home games this season, the only Saturday night home game the entire Utah football season. That's it.
What are they playing? What night are they playing their home games on?
Well, in October, they play on I think it's Tuesdays and Wednesdays because that's during, that's the new weeknight thing that CUSA started last year. Mm-hmm. And then in November, they have 2 home games and they're both 2 o'clock games. So
on Saturday, though.
On Saturday afternoon.
So this is the only Saturday
night game. That is correct. In fact,
I wonder if it's going to be a little chilly out there.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I want it to be football weather.
UTEP will play Thursday, October 3rd at home against Sam Houston. That's El Chuco night. And then on Wednesday, October 16th, they take on FIU. So they play a Thursday night game and a
Florida
Wednesday night game. That is Florida International. That's correct. That's the Hall of Fame game. Mm-hmm. So, yes. So those are the 2 games in October. And then in November, they play Middle Tennessee on Saturday, November 2nd. And they also play Kennesaw State on the 9th. And that's a 1:30 and 2 o'clock kick. So this is it. Tomorrow night, the only Saturday night football game of your UTEP football season at home.
Good morning, Mo Show. Hey, Buzz. Hey, Cappy. How about them Cowboys? Woo! Put them back to pack. Put them back nation. Super Bowl bound, baby.
Super Bowl bound.
Captain America. MVP. 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 Cowboys, baby. Woo!
Who's Captain America?
Do they call Dak Prescott Captain
No.
America? I've never heard it.
Trust
before.
me, Dallas are not calling him Captain America. That's for sure.
Okay, so I saw some of each Dallas preseason game, but I never saw Dak. Of course, I didn't see CeeDee Lamb.
No.
I didn't see Zeke. He might have gotten into a game, but I certainly didn't see it. I don't feel like I've seen the Cowboys play yet.
You haven't.
Yeah.
And that's why they're underdogs this week against the Cleveland Browns. By the way,
the Browns. We'll
have that for you here on 95.5 KLAQ on Sunday, the Cowboys opener. That's the 2 o'clock game. That is the Tom Brady debut also. So, I'm torn. I love Brad Sham and Babe Laufenberg on the queue. That is a staple for me. And
But
Christy
you kind of
Scales on
want
the
to
sidelines.
hear
Yes, I want
how Brady does as an announcer.
I might go back and forth on Sunday because I want to hear little Brady and then I want to hear Babe and
Somebody
Brad.
said you can't watch the game on TV and sync it up to the minor broadcast because there's a delay.
Really?
Well, I don't know. I was hoping you would.
There's
know
a
if
delay
that's
either
true.
in the broadcast or
so the radio feed is live.
Okay.
we don't go delay on UTEP, but TV generally could have like a
they might have
5 to 10 second delay. So here's what I do: I watch it streaming, then I pause the streaming video for like 5 seconds, and I sync it up perfectly with the radio broadcast, and then
there you go.
Then I just go from there.
Oh, I ran into your brother yesterday. I think he might get me tickets up in his.
Oh wow!
Fancy high-powered suite.
Who you taking?
I'm a +1, so I don't get to take anybody.
What do you mean you're a plus? Oh, you are the +1.
I think he said he had one more ticket for me.
Okay, I was wondering if you had a particular.
Steve's brother
female in
Matt
mind.
is kind of a big deal.
He is. He is.
I'll drive you there.
Best college matchup this weekend. What
without a
pops to
doubt.
mind?
Texas and Michigan.
Texas and Michigan.
It's
that's
huge.
right.
It's 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. It's going to be in Ann Arbor, and what a game this is going to be. terrific. It's going to be a playoff preview here tomorrow.
There are some ranked teams playing each other. Not that many, but there are some in week 2.
This weekend, more tough matchups in college football, like the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs lining up opposite the Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles. Number 6, Ole Miss can't miss against the Middle Tennessee Blue Raiders.
Blue what?
And the number 14 Tennessee Vols will actually play a ranked team, number 24, North Carolina State.
Finally, the nightmare ends.
This weekend's college football action. You have to Tennessee it to believe it.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
a volunteer serves as foster care system. Call 915-540-2310 or visit becomeacasa.org.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Inderman Personal Injury Lawyers. At GVILaw.com.
Don't kill people you don't know. Don't shoot you with guns. Don't rob gas stations and banks. Don't rob liquor stores elsewhere. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. Don't sell illegal drugs. Don't bust people in the head.
Please.
Don't stick up people for money.
Don't do it.
Don't ever take things that don't belong to you.
Refrain from that.
It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law. It's against the law.
Actual crime stories from around the world and across the nation. It is time for our True Crime Report. And I've got to start, Joanna, with the arrest of one of the 1,000-pound sisters, because there's so many peculiar details about this.
A 500-pound arrest, you would say?
Remind me, are they 1,000 pounds apiece, or they add up to 1,000?
A combined weight of 1,000.
They probably don't just split it 500, 500, though.
No.
One of them
is significantly. Well, I mean, they both have the surgery now, so they've lost a lot of weight.
Well, Amy Slayton from the reality show 1,000-Pound Sisters.
She has had it rough lately.
And this was all on Monday, so an eventful Labor Day, okay?
Okay.
She went to a place called Tennessee Safari Park with her kids, plus a man named Brian. And it sounds like this is the type of place you drive through and the zebras come up to your car. Yeah. Well, during her visit to this Tennessee Safari Park, Amy claimed she was bitten by one of their camels.
Oh, God.
While she was being treated for her injuries, park employees noticed a suspicious smell. They found marijuana and mushrooms sitting in plain sight in her car.
Trying to party.
Amy and her male companion were arrested on drug possession and child endangerment charges. Does that mean the park employees called the cops on him, or the park employees...
Maybe they already had cops
Maybe they already had a cop on site. They were also charged with child endangerment since she had her two kids
that's
there.
not going to go good with her divorce.
Kids were placed in custody of other family members. Amy from 1,000-Pound Sisters
Probably
shares...
her sister, Amanda.
They probably gave them to the sister. Are they twins?
No.
Oh, I've never seen an
Amy
episode.
is the oldest. And then it's Tammy.
Amy shares...
But they have two other sisters and a brother, and all of them now have gotten the surgery as well.
They don't have like a single skinny sibling?
No.
That's interesting.
TMZ spoke with one of the owners of the Tennessee Safari Park, and he says that everybody there, based on what they know and they've seen over the years, are very skeptical that Amy was even bitten by a camel.
She's just had it rough lately since the divorce.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, she shares her two kids with ex-husband Michael Holterman.
Do you think she was high on mushrooms? maybe,
just
and thought
that
she was
she
bitten
got
by a
bitten.
camel.
They're like, we don't even have camels here.
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Well, if she hadn't complained about being bit by, there are no camels.
There's no camels here.
But she would not have been arrested if they hadn't gone over to and seen this stuff just laying out openly in her car. I mean, but what? It's weed and mushrooms. Is that it? Yeah, just weed and mushrooms. It's all natural, man.
All natural.
A guy went to the police station to ask for the return of his drugs, which sounds like a bad move, but this guy, 24-year-old Christopher Gansel, got to the police station by stealing a car. He stole a car from a parking lot last month near Philadelphia. It was one of these things. Have you ever seen people, I'm just going to go in for a second, so I'm just going to leave the car running? It was one of those situations. And this guy just hopped in and drove away in the 2023 Subaru Forester. Well, the guy took off in it. Where'd he go? He went to the police station.
To turn himself in?
No. The reason he went is the dumbest part of the story. Apparently, he had a prior run-in with police. They had taken drugs off of him, and he wanted to go down to the police station and ask for his drugs back.
I need it back.
Now, the cops didn't realize that he had stolen a car to get there, but they did moments later when they got the report that he had just used it as a getaway car for another crime. He had tried to shoplift stuff from a nearby Target and was seen speeding off in the same green Subaru Forester.
Sounds about right.
So they tracked him down and arrested him. He's now facing 2 felony charges for stealing the car, plus a misdemeanor charge for unauthorized use of a vehicle.
Come on, give me my drugs back. I need to sell them. I need to make rent.
Don't you sometimes think it's like some people just want to go to jail? They're like the old man in Shawshank Redemption. That's just, I'll do anything to get back behind bars.
Yeah, maybe. Like they don't know what it's like to live on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, how do you deliver yourself to the police station in a stolen car asking for your illicit narcotics
if
back?
you don't want to go back to prison?
It's somewhere deep down, maybe not all that deep down, there's a part of you that wants to go to jail. Well, a drunk driver crashed into a police cruiser early Monday. This happened in New York. The crash happened while the police were arresting another drunk driver. No one was seriously hurt, though. This was also Labor Day, so early Monday in Buffalo, New York. Troopers were arresting an alleged drunk driver. This was 34-year-old Richard Morrow. After they found his car stopped on the road and him slumped over the steering wheel. Well, that's when another drunk driver, 25-year-old Elizabeth Percy, drove into the scene, striking one of the police cruisers. She was also charged with DWI and taken into custody. No one was seriously hurt. The first drunk driver had some minor injuries. And another story involving alcohol. I'm telling you, it's the demon for some people. So you heard this story about a drunk driver crashing into a police cruiser. 2 suspected drunk drivers crashed into each other on Labor Day
Oh, man.
in Marysville, California. When the police arrived on the scene, they determined right away that one driver was intoxicated because the other driver had already driven off. Police tracked them down, and he was also found to be under the influence of alcohol.
Oh, my God.
So
Damn.
Two DWI drivers hit each other. No injuries were reported. Both were booked into local jail. This is when I would do the Florida Man game, but it's not going to count because I talked about this story already. A Florida man, I'll just do a pretend round. A Florida man punched a guy who complimented his blank. Road rage incident. Florida man Here, I got to put you in the right frame of mind.
Yeah, please.
Runs naked through a dairy farm. Florida man, who never fears any bodily harm. Florida man, who's made love to a dozen trees. Throws tennis balls that are full of bees. Who tries to bite every cop he sees. Florida man.
All right, let's hurry this along a little bit.
All right.
Florida man hits driver who complimented his blank, Joanna.
I know this story already, so I'm gonna bow out of this round. It's all you,
Honorable
Nico.
thing to do.
Truck nuts. Nice truck nuts.
Good answer.
A 53-year-old Florida man named John Sturgeon was driving his souped-up Dodge Charger on Sunday. A guy in another car waved and told him he had a nice car.
That's it? The car? That's the answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Sturgeon, the guy with the Dodge Charger, got out of his car in the middle of the road, went back to the driver's side window, and punched the guy in the face.
Nice car. Don't you talk about my mama like that.
Here, the guy did have a dash cam, so we have audio of the interaction.
You want to clap? You big tough guy? I'm trying to tell you, nice car, bro. I like your car. You better pay attention.
What?
Oh my God.
I like it. I like you.
I liked it.
The expression on the guy's face, you could tell he's very confused that this was the reaction he got for telling the guy, nice car. Sturgeon jumped back in his Dodge Charger and took off. But the dash cam did get a clear shot of his license plate. Police were able to ID him. Last we've heard, they haven't tracked him down, though. People online did track down his Facebook page, and he's posted several shots of his prized Dodge Charger on Facebook. So they've been leaving comments like, nice car, bro, and this is the car that can't take a compliment. Yeah, that one doesn't count. Because we'd already had this story.
Who plays baseball with a feral cat? Florida man. Tried to stab his boss with a sewer rat. Florida man. Who snorts crank then screams in the street. Whose favorite food is human meat. Who gave Marco Rubio a Senate seat. Florida man.
Well, that's it. Show's over. What? We just started.
Yeah, well, the show's over.
That's the end.
That's not the end.
Why, yes, it is.
Right, that's the end.
And that's the end. That's the end?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back Monday morning.
Hello, everybody. It's the weekend.